Hi everyone, Salam Alaikum. Welcome, WST Foundation and Wellness. I am your host, Gupta Queen. It's been a while. How is everyone doing tonight? If you guys could hear me tap the screen, we have an interesting topic tonight. And the topic tonight is drugs being distributed to our youth. So drugs being distributed to our youth, to our children. So if you guys are just joining me right now, tap the screen. Before I get started with my introductions, this is WST Foundation and Wellness. And I'm just going to go ahead and get started and just share the live with everybody. How is everyone doing? Happy Tuesday. Another night, another live of WST. We left off, I believe last time we left off, we were discussing parenthood and a viral video of that young sister or Kahadlis, really things that were really pertaining to the community, parenthood, and that was our last life, and it was an intriguing life, least to say. Marka, many of you guys, if you don't know me, my name is Gupta Queen. I started WST, which means We Stand Together, Foundation and Wellness. I try to come on a little bit earlier tonight. Unfortunately, being a busy mom of two and doing so much and really being an active member in my community, sometimes I find it really difficult to come on here as much as I would love to come on here with you guys and share some of these intriguing things. As you guys can see the post behind me, that will be our topic for tonight. And our topic for tonight, like even when I saw that little kit, it says safer snorting kit. To me, when I ran into this, I thought it was like, another product, for, women. But no, this is what's happening. Marka kuso dawada. Before I get into the topic, I'm just going to go ahead and share the live. If you guys can hear me, tap the screen for me. Wani salamat daman. Happy Tuesday, you guys. Happy Tuesday. How was your long weekend? What did you guys do? Mahala khabte. Did you guys enjoy the long weekend? How was Tuesday for you guys? Wonderful. So I know my viewers are here. Marka, you guys, my journey. So as many of you guys know, I came on to TikTok because, I'm a mother. I'm a Muslim sister. I am a Black woman. I am a Muslim woman. I'm a Somali woman, for that matter. And I am, I've been living in Canada since I was 6 years old. And I went to school here. I went to primary school, middle school, high school, college, and university. Alhamdulillah. Was able to graduate. Assalamu alaikum, Miss Rosa Sodawat Walalo. And, like many of you guys, I really try to not be a statistic here. You know what I mean? And try to be an upstanding citizen and do what was necessary for me to do to bring up my children in the right way. And unfortunately, systemic racism does exist. Assalamu alaikum, Amina, welcome. Ashabte that didn't welcome you guys, please share the live and invite more guests, before we get into this topic tonight. And waqti bakal makhnen marka, and we've been having interesting conversation. And I just wanted to get into a little bit of, every time I come on live, I always do a little introduction and a little background on how WST was formed and why it was necessary and how it all came together. And basically what led me to starting WST was I was experiencing a lot of hardship around systemic racism oppression, discrimination, especially as a minority, especially, someone from the marginalized and racialized community. And it's unfortunate based on where you live, you could be targeted. And I felt that I was targeted in something that truly could have been prevented. And due to that, my children and I really suffered, where we were very traumatized, I'm not the one. I support, police, and I support, the safety of our community. But it kind of led me to question, the protocols and the procedures that were used. Was it necessary? Was it at that particular moment? Was that needed? And unfortunately for me, it was a no. And I wanted to do something about it. And I wanted to kind of give awareness, put awareness around that, because many people believe that you have to be a certain demographic, or you have to look a certain way, to be targeted. And that wasn't the case. I wanted to give it a different narrative, which is like, you can be targeted even, based on things that you cannot help, like the skin of your color, And moving forward, alhamdulillah, Maria, welcome. So that's how WST really came together. I wanted to provide resources. I wanted to provide awareness in the things that were happening in our community, things that, our youth were experiencing, things like our mothers were experiencing, whether it be in the educational system, whether it be in the justice and traditional system, whether it be in housing, whether it be in health. I wanted to talk about what it meant to be a mother and a Black woman, and somebody that's really eager to do well and partake in society in a healthy way. So with that said, kuso dawada channel kega. This is a safe platform. I wanted to create this safe platform where we can discuss our ideas, our concerns in a healthy way, have a healthy dialogue. I want it to be a free judgment zone. So I didn't want any judgment in this. And a lot of the times, you guys, you hear me, my voice is really loud. I speak with a lot of emphasis. I speak with a lot of passion and compassion for others. And, sometimes I have triggers, and these triggers for me are, I felt very disadvantaged. I came here at 6 years old. I didn't have a choice in that. Unfortunately, the things that happened in back home, we came from civil war, and I was a product of that. And what that transition meant for me growing up here in the khurba world, and meeshaan ilmahayga ku dhalay. Marka waxaan arkay dhibaato badan oo fara badan oo maantay dadkii dhalinyarada heesto, dadkii waalidkeena ahay iyo ayayaashan iyo awowgeena waa la iloobay. Our elderly community is even forgotten about. Walidayashi حتى ayaka, but they went through a lot of traumatization. Hi beautiful, hi Kay, Qadane. I learned your name. I finally met Kay, and I can say Qadane. I've been practicing. I still call you Kay. I love you guys. Welcome. And all of those things, anigu kiss your trigger be itahai, right? The reason why is I didn't grow up on back home. So a lot of the times when I have people come on here, I want to be able to, I love you girl, I want to be able to really just be my authentic self. I didn't come on TikTok because to be marketable or to be likable or to be sociable, to be honest, I came here because it was something that was really close and dear to my heart. I experienced something very tragic and very ordeal, and I wanted to just come out and support, let the world know, let other mothers and other women and other children and other families know we too are going through these things. We are the forgotten people, because when you have somebody that's not implicated and your doors are being busted down and you have no insight of what's going on and you're left all alone, you have to pick up the pieces. And a lot of the times these people, they don't know where to start. So that was the whole reason and for me it's painful, it's very painful. Anigu Somali dan ba ahay, all African Africans baahay. Every black person I see or meet, I see a little bit of myself in them. And that's why I don't want to ever be judgmental. I don't want to ever have a platform where people can come and give out their personal opinion. No, I want this to be an educational platform. I want it to be a respectful platform. I want us to be able to really come together and lock in the things that are happening within our society right now. Majority of my family, you know, they came to Canada different times, you know, and right now, anigu, even though I love back home, my issues, I'm dying right here in North America. I'm being assassinated right here in North America. There's a lot of youth that are from my community that have lost their lives due to nonsense violence. You know, there's a lot of injustices happening right here, right? And for me, that's what I'm passionate about. So when I let you guys come on WST platform, it's a given. It means we stand together. We're not here for our own personal agenda. We're not here for our own personal gain. We are here to really lock in and support each other and say, hey, I do not have one flag. You know, I see myself in all of you guys. And I want to come together collaboratively. And I want to come together in a way that we can come up with solutions together. So solutions in Islam, and to attack the problem together. You understand? Let's not focus on somebody's voice or the way that they look, because that would make you miss the message. You're missing the message and you're going to miss the point. So let's try to extract and take the point out. Okay? So that's my introduction. Alhamdulillah. So being the busy mother that I am, I want to be able to always remind myself why I started. And that's the reason why I started, to really empower, to build a sense of community, to really talk about these things that are considered a taboo, whether it be mental health related issues, whether it be autism spectrum, whether it be parenthood, you know what I mean, and Planned Parenthood, whether it be the justice system, the educational system. waxyaalahaas dhan aan rabnaa si sharaf iyo si wanaag iyo si taageernimo inaan uga hadalno. Marka, welcome to the live, and I'm just going to go ahead and share the live and invite many more people, and you know, they can really use this conversation. And yes, welcome my ladies. I'm going to bring up my ladies to the platform. Waso Saraya, runti anybody on rabo hana soo qabsado. You know, maanta topic oo waalan IG ku arkay, and it is snorting. Ilmaheena sanka baalko. Safer snorting babala daha. Wow, what a. So it really took me off guard. Amina, welcome to the live. Waku salam, Miss Rosa and Khadane K. Welcome.
Thank you guys.
Alaikum, beautiful lady.
All of you guys, mashallah.
How are you? How are you?
I am holding up. I'm just here sipping my Canadian little Timmy's here. Hey. I'm sorry I came in a little bit late, you guys. My apologies. I do the best that I can given the circumstances. And where did we leave off last, you guys?
We're glad you're here. Hi, Amina. Hi, Miss Rosa.
Hi, Miss
How are
Rosa.
you guys?
Alaikum wa
Alaikum assalam, the best salam.
Yes.
Sidetin, how was your long weekend?
Actually, it was good. It was good. Gupta,
anything special?
All of you guys.
Salamullah. All the beautiful ladies of WST, my fam, wani salame. Kuso dhawaada nilehe awada hortore maxaa u maleynaysiina isleedihiin, and anigu ay garanaysin. I just jump into everything. You know, ani baalkan ko marka arke waxa u maleynaya tampon inuu ahay. Tampon oo la advertise
aniga sorry, I'm gonna go on mute. Waxa u maleynaya toilet paper or something. It has the same color.
You know what? I was just thinking about it because they trick people on the surface. It's merchandise and it's all about hycinta, right? Yeah. It looks like a tampon, but inside it's a whole lot. Who manufacture anyways?
Wallahi ma garanayo, but ani waxa isdhahe
Yeah.
waalidka haddee waxaan qolkii ku arki lahaayeen dee wax maanta ilmahooda uga shakin lahaayeen ma ahan.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, waa yaab technologyga sida adduunka usii socoto.
But what do you think about the whole idea?
Really horta hore waxay anigu article-kan wuxuu dhahay, and when I was in high school we heard from powerful guest speakers on why doing drugs, waxa droga la dhaho, you know, that markay, you know, if you look back 15 years ago, if you look like even 20 years ago, you know, schoolka systemka aad uga dugnaay maanta wuxuu yahay maahan. Marka awal waa ogeed, and you know, sex ed classeska laga hadli jiray, dadaa lagu keeni jiray wax ku fasiraan, you know, teenage parent and you know teenage parent ka laga hadli jiray, epidemic ahead gabdhaha 13 14 15 and you know oo uurka qaadanayo ayagoo iskuulkii dhameenin, waxyaalahaas aad looga dadaali jiray, and they used to bring guest speakers to talk about these things. So article kan wuxuu leeyahay those a few years ago dad baan loo keeni jiray markaa ku jirna grade 9 10 11 in the high school years, in the difficult teen years, to speak about the seriousness and the dangerousness of doing hardcore drugs. Hardcore drug markii cocaine, the cocaine waa wax weyn oo saaid oo la qaadan karin ma aragtay. So maantane they used to talk about the deadly consequences, you know, dadaa lagu keenaa lifekayga saanuu noqday, rehab aaday, dhibaatadaana soo maray. Today waxaas ma lagu keenoya. In high school waxaas ma lagu keenoya. Waxaa lagu keenoya baalka snorting kicked ku sameyn lahayd aba lagu siinoya by the door. Marka article-kaas waqtiga siduu iska bedel uu ka hadlooya. Arrintan hadda British Columbia ka socotaa, Vancouver BC ka socotaa. High school yashi as young as 15 years old kitkaneti or heroin iyo budo sanka loga qaato ala diboya.
You know what? First of all, when I see that picture, I'm not even surprised because Vancouver, all Canada, as you guys know, it's the main drug users, whether it's teenager, adolescent, they all use some kind of drugs. There's a whole street. I think it's in downtown, isn't it? I'm not sure. But downtown area of Vancouver, BC, there's
something valley
facilities. Yeah. There are facilities that you can. I'm not even surprised to see this device being used. There are needles. Because they are preventing trashing outside. Because park ku aban, park ku hayan needles they throw away, and park na dad kala hela maha. Markay helaan ilmaha amba ilmaha way isku muda. That's what they all come from, and cudur baa ka imanaysa markaas, for example, and AIDS, HIV, and all kind of blood causing diseases. So they are preventing like outside use rather than inside, indoor. That's what I believe. I don't know. Yeah.
My thing is, Amina, is this happening in high school at the age of 15 years and younger? Waxas wali ma ahan?
It is. It's very dangerous. Now there's a fentanyl, and there's all kind of narcotics.
East has Hastings Street. That's the spot. Welcome, Bur'a. Yeah.
So there are fentanyl, opioid, xylazine, your illicit, all kind of drugs outside they are using within Canada region. And particularly we're talking about generally Canada. So fentanyl is the main one teenager use. Those are very dangerous, overdose causing. And there are a lot of articles. I don't know if you know, Gupta, and your audience know, but there are a lot of overdoses under the age of 17.
Yes, the overdose is why I'm wondering why there's not a more rage from the walid. Walid ki maxaa ku dhacay? We used to protest in the hundreds, in the thousands. We used to be in the parliaments, in the city halls. Like, when did these things get passed around? And boom, you wake up talking about we are passing out safer snorting kit. Baba grade 9.
Gibson?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Right.
User
Go ahead, Lady
8706,
K. Hadal.
welcome.
Welcome more people.
soo dhawaa waa ku salaamnay. Salaamu calaykum waraxmatullaahi wabarakaatu.
Abdullahi Al Baqaran, I guess. You know, I wanted to say a little bit as a practitioner because I waxaa la shaqayn jiray CMHA-ga iyo kuwaas ma ogtahay.
Yeah.
Waxaa jirta waxaa bahalkan waxaa la dhahaa harm reduction.
Haye.
And waxaa jirta, it's not even about, it's past the point where ay ka samayn jireen awareness creation around dhibaatooyinka ay leeyihiin and drugska ay isticmaalayaan, whatever that drugs is. You know how markii hore waxaa la samayn jiray wax kasta problem kasta markuu cusub yahay waxay sameeyaan wacyigelin bay ka sameeyaan. Wacyigelinta markay sameeyaan waxay ka hadlayaan wixii sida imika markii hore waxaa la odhan jiray caruurta ama high school dadka dhigta hala baro inaynan maxaa la dhahaa how difficult it is inaan waxyaabaha oon wiilashiya gabdhaha in la kala ilaaliyo. Markii dambe way kasoo gudbeen waxay barayeen dadka how to be safe, like sida oo safe pregnant iyo waxaa loo sameynay babyga guriga lagugu soo dhiibay highness overnight, that the doll that's crying. So waxaasoo dhan waxa weeyaan problemka. I think marka hore waxay isku dayaan inay wacyigelin ka sameeyaan problemka lafteega, but imika waxay aqoonsadeen no matter what they say dad caruurta ma joojinayaan. And specifically Vancouver, I think it's a big deal because wadooyinka hadda downtownka tagta imika say sheegaysay the biggest harm reduction in North America, Vancouver buu ka jira. Waxaa jira meelo dadka waxaa lagu baraya, you know, use whatever drug you want, just use it safer. Like adiga ha isku durin, adiga ha samaynin maxaa la yidhaahdaa wax oo anything, because dadka waxay sameeyaan imika maxaa la dhahaa xanuunada la isugu gudbiyo dhiigga iyo candhuufta iyo dhacaanada waxaas ayaa ku badan. oo imika hepatitis B oo kale dadka drug isticmaalo oo dhan inta badan waxay noqdaan positive because waa waxaan la isla isticmaalay bahalka yar qalinka u eg ay ku wada isticmaalaan snortingka ay ku sameynayaan different color. imika waxay sameeyeen kidkan waan eegay imika marka articleka soo dartay and I was just looking at it. It has different colors, so everybody inuu yaqaano, qof kasta inuu yaqaano kiisa inaan la isla isticmaalin, because at this point waxay aqoonsadeen caruurtan ma daynayaan drugs whatever they try. So imika waxa weeyaan, you know what, do whatever you want, just do it safer. xanuun ha isku keenin, HIV ha isku keenin, hepatitis B ha isku keenin, any kind of other like transmitted disease ha isku keenin. waxaad samaysaa, this is the kit, waxaad isticmaalaysa, do it safer. Because I think they're doing a lot of research around caruurta waxay isticmaalayaan iyo waxyaabaha, and at some point waxaa ku timiday inaynan joojinayn caruurta no matter what they do, but they were doing a lot of like
I don't believe that to be. I have to disagree with that, but I'm gonna give it to everybody to give out their opinion. In general, opinion ko qof kasta wuu dhiibanaya, and then I would also raise some concerns. You know, we can think about some of the concerns oo waalidiinta qabaan. And markana soo qabsada, share the life, you guys. Tap the screen for us. Right now, Kay waxay ka hadashay reasonka oo dadkii oo iskuulada oo xakunka ka ahay. The reason waxaan usoo jeediyeen, we get it, is for a safer usage, because waxaanay epidemic bay noqotay and there's a lot of overdoses, and waxaa la leeyahay dee dadkan waxna ma laga qaban karo, markastaba baasha way isticmaalayaan. Marka they're trying to quote unquote say this is a safer way. Prevention. So yes, Amina. Yes, go ahead.
Miss Rosa iyadaan u dhiibay
Okay, inaan hadlo waxaa ii raba horta siday qadan sheegtay, dadka qaar haddii la kari waayo inay safetygooda laga hormariyo wax walbaa muhiim ah. Teeda kale haddana waxaan la yaabanahay caruurta loo geynayo waxaan ayagoo la wacyigelinin, waxba loo sheegin, wixii haddii loo geyso isticmaalkii ma bilaabayaan.
Thank you. Oh, I have to clap. I must. Go ahead, Miss Rosa.
marka waxaa leeyahay mar walba wacyigelinta haddii horeysay cunugii uu ogyahay dhibka kasoo gaarayo dhibaatada noloshiisa ku imaan karto dadkii wacyigelin jiray dadkii waagi hore ama qof isticmaala gabar xataa TikTok waxaa dhex joogtay oo sanka ka go-ay sidee daroogu isticmaalaysa dadkas camal haddii loo geeyo muhiimay u tahay inay arkaan kadibna xataa kuwa isticmaalaya haddii la ogyahaybu meelaha ku isticmaalaa in loo tago loo geeyo maaha iskuulka in loogu keeno.
Thank you. Ani saasa qabaa. Tap the screen, y'all.
So Annie, I would agree to disagree, Miss Rosa, because everything has a reason. Maaragtay dadkan gaalada they don't sida adu u fakirayso uma fakiraan lacag bay ka fakirayaan. It's all about manufacturing dollar signs. So alaabtan ay dhigayaan banaanka they're talking about waxaa laga jeedaa already inay dadkan addict yihiin. So gaaladan it's a systematic drug prevention and they iraadaan. Because working on like I've been working front desk at hospital for a long time, trauma center. Wallahi o billahi da. Those people overdose ku imada sida uma fiiriyaan. Why? Because they know already system ka. Nurse ba imanaysa way eegaysa. She takes all. And gacantooda ninka ma dhimanayo. So they take the other patient or heart attack, for example, the age, waqtiga, you know, all of that. Gaalada sa u fakirtin kama fakiraan. This is system. Already system. Wait.
You know, I disagree with all of you. Unfortunately, waxaa jirta mataqaanaa imika Miss Rosa, I know what she's talking about. Like waxaa jirta in imika goonda miska marka la geeyo maad aragta high schoolka ama meelaha. It doesn't mean that ilma kasta intuu la cararo buu wax la raadsanaya. It does not. It just means qofkii raba baa soo raadsanaya when they need it instead of intay waayi lahaayeen. Marka waxaa laga imika Toronto waxaa jira meelo oo downtown-ka oo dhan few harm reductions baa jira meelo loogu talagalay harm reduction sites baa la dhahaa. Marka waxaa la sameynayaa qofkii druggiisa isagoo wata wuu tegayaa practitioner qof nurse or maxaa la dhahaa qof oo garanaya wixii baa dawadii lafteedii siinaya. Marka muhiimaddu waxa weeyaan caruurtan and let's be real honestly I don't know hadda high school markay idinku dambeysay ama ilma high school dhigta markay idinku dambeysay la sheekaysataan imika ilma high school dhigta it doesn't matter grade ka yihiin oo specifically high school oo aan ka warhaynin druga sida loo isticmaalo waxa la isticmaalo noocyada ay yihiin. They know everything. Grade 10 weydi, grade 9 weydi, 11 iyo 12 iskaba ilowba. Anaga waxay nagu tahay like oh waa la xasuusinaya you know aniga bas taasaan u fikiri lahaa. And I remember markaan yaraa gabadhaan saaxiib ahayn hooyadeed bay iskuulka timiday macalinkay weydiisay hadday gabadheedu nin la sheekaysato. Markaasuu ku yidhi gabadhaada nin ma taqaana ha xasuusinin. You understand what I mean? Because hooyadu waxay daba guraysay inanta wuxuu ku yidhi inantaada weli waxaas may baran shukaansiyanin iyo waxaas ma taqaana adiga ha xasuusinin. imika anaga waxaan u fikiraynaa you know haddaa waxaan la keenay iskuulkii caruurta dhan way xasuusanayaan they're gonna try it they're gonna use it.
Yes.
Laakiin the other side haddaan ka fikirno thank you. The other side haddaan ka fikirno caruurtani dhammaantood they do drugs intooda badani I'm gonna say like 75%. There's 25% oo fiican on isticmaalin 25 kan isticmaalina they already made their mind like
waxaan ma ku badan tahay community-geena ilmahooda ma ku badan tahay
exactly waliba wiilasha because I was talking to one of imika inayaro waxaan la tagay oo family nahay oo high school dhigataan la hadlayay and she was like I was just talking about like oh are you talking to boys and stuff like that and she was like boys at my school are disgusting because they all do drugs. Wallahi, jawaabteedu saasay ahayd markaan weydiiyay inanta yar. And waliba neighborhood-keena like waa sanadkan neighborhood-keena bay school ka dhigata. A lot of kids oo maxaa la dhahaa Soomaalida waliba peer pressure baa jira. So hadday qaar isticmaalaan kuwa kalena way ku soo
You're getting to the point, Kate, because one rotten apple.
They're not doing it safely. That's the thing. like we shouldn't anaga taboogi we're going back to the tabooga oh hada waxan laga hadla then the kids are gonna learn about it and they're gonna
it's
use
not about for my thing it's not about kahadal أول بوالجة هذلي جري you know point روزا كهذلس وحاوي مركز توحن والجة هذلي جري but مركا مقال أركتد intervention وحلا ده جري even TV كان مركا دعوتد intervention كي أكو بدنا عنجري you know the destruction of the family ضد كشيء كذا and the true pain and the hardship of you know ضد وحاجر اللي يرو أمان تدرج وبلعبله سدا شيء like شو يستعمل peer pressure you understand not knowing the cycle, not knowing the cycle and the implications and the consequences and the deadly consequences, not just any consequences, that your livelihood is at stake. Marka, they used to have posters and you know they used to have posters up. They used to have like pamphlets that they would hand you. They used to do like these big meetings twice a year in the schools. They would bring actual persons, you know, so now you also see the image, you know, and the visuals, you get the visuals, right? Marka waxaas dhan way jireen hadda waxaas ma jiraan ma garatay hadda wixii aa laga qaaday ilmihii waxaa la dhahay geedkii aa loo sii furoyaa in yar haddaa waxaan aa ku dhaqaaqdeen marka si aqli u isticmaal marka baalkan oo sanka aa gashanayo aa kook lagu cabaayo kan nolosheeda muu badbaadinaa ilaahay ha laga cabsadee marka I think that's the point why a governmentkii waxyaalihii ilmaha u fiicnaay iyo programyaasha u fiicnaay maxaa looga joojiyay druggan ayaa loogu talagalay this is a rich man's drug so the gateway balkan waa gateway drugs ee ka daran tahay you get a gateway drug waxaa waaye geedo okay maybe cigar maybe khamri maybe kuwaas gateway drugs ala dhahaa this is cocaine we're talking about. This is a form of, it can convert to crack cocaine and then it can go to heroin. Do you understand that? Where people are injecting themselves. So the point becomes, how many of these people, demographic or mental target garenayo, dad adan or rich miya or dad wahawa mental lito? Dad kane, do they have the insurance to go take your child to these high-tech companies or waxaan ilmihii kasoo tirtiray rehabilitation oo dhiigga soo sifeynaya iyo maskaxda soo sifeynaya lacagtii ma haystaan beesadii ma haystaan waaye marka I think that's something to consider as well.
صح. No, I will agree with that because the you know those what was it again? Those prevention facilities.
You guys tap the screen for us. Share the live, right? One maqneen in bari, one loadin sida u egtahay. Let's tap the screen. The more we tap the screen, that causes more engagement. Dadka kale inay soo qabsadaan. Af Somali ku hadlaan, af Somali waa ku hadalnaa, af Ingiriis waa ku hadalnaa. Meesha ka qabsan kartiin ka qabsada asxaabiyaal.
So I was saying those facilities they used to have, now they're kind of opening because the government is losing lots of funds regarding these issues. I don't know if you're aware of that. There was an article within Toronto region, Warka soo saare, and I was reading it, wallahi, just 2 weeks ago. They rather let young people in a dintan rather than save them. You know what I mean? It's a whole system that was made. Melaha drug overdose. It's all up to you to prevent it. I know it's all about individual and to prevent themselves. You know what?
Individual maahan aamino. Markii waxaan societal issue ay noqotay because hadda waalidka sida kay dhahday ilmahooda markii ay yihiin under 16 waalidka in xaq ba u leeyihiin in oo ilmihooda oo la dhaho oo la soo fadhiisiyo oo macalinka iskuulka waco oo dhaho situation ba meeshaan jiro dhibaato ba meeshaan jirto waalidkii oo ilmahooda xataa ogeen drug overdose iyo drug u isticmaala oo bawar u heenin haddana in alaabahaantii oo la sii tilmaamo oo la sii siiyo ani taas wax oo individual ma ahan individualkii waa laga saaray meesha. You understand?
Of course.
Individual waa one person oo maantay oo dhibaato qabo. But ana cunugeyga as an individual waa u raadsan karaa meel. But ilmo islaameed oo weligood oo drug maqlin iyo weligood drug meel laga maro snort kid qof kasta hala warwareegto oh this is like the new candy hala dhaho taas is misleading ani leeyahay
It is misleading, and also qofka kolkood 17 20 years old gaaro they're under 8 they're like limit 18 years old waa meesha ilmaha lagu talagalay 18 years old it's walaa hooyadaaba ku hayn karta walaa schoolka walaa communityga it's all about you when you go outside ilbaabka ka baxdir when you go to school come on it's peer pressure ilmaha schoolka waxay cabayaan waa la cabaysaa you know what I mean but it's always good as a mother parents qofku haysto again waa social issue with in community if you have it's frustrating
Guys,
a lot
guys,
of
this is totally sorry, I mean sorry for the interruption. This is totally unrelated. Laakiin maad aragteen maamada oo Edmonton degan oo inanteeda transitionka lagu sameeyay oo imika
a lot of young people are dying walibana Soomaalida wallahi u bilaahida so
no,
it's
there's possibility they won't even let you know. They will just go ahead and do whatever intervention they believe is better for your child without your knowledge.
yeah.
What happened to Gupta?
Oh, sorry guys. I was just sharing the live posting stuff, but I was still able to hear you guys. Leaving off of what Amina said, this wallahi
ani I will say Gupta ilmaha markuu iskuulka ka baxo guriga ka baxo iskuulka tago you have no idea what he's doing or she's doing
why
ilmaha wali way yar yihiin right
no ilmahan this babies but waxa ku leeyahay 15 years old this sinki iburdaha 15 years old indhaha ma bakala qaadin dig
waxaa lagu leeyahay aniga ba waa cabaaya try grey
yes indhaha ma baqaadin cocaine ilmahan siino so wax kale ma basiino moogido wax aab siino oo cocaine ahayn ma bajirto albaabkaab oo si kala furoosa government kan oo intaasoo kun oo lacag oo citizen payer taxpayers baan ahnee oo xataa ku soo there's no even intervention for the parents that's what I'm saying in an intervention jir ma ahano in la dhaho ma ahano hey we have a situation in our school we need a conference waalidka in la shiro intaan we have x amount of students or waxaan needles baahnay contraband baa helnay iskuulka areadiisa inuu waalidka lala tashto in the parents conference meetings in the board meetings dee arrimo oo culus weeyaan waxaan ma garatay waxaa dhahda opiate bay ku jiraan fentanyl bay ku jiraan crack cocaine bay ku jiraan heroin bay ku jiraan baa la dhahayo oo lean la dhaho bay ku jiraan geedihii free meel kasta convenience storeka ba laga gadaro meel kasta waa ba laga gadaro everywhere khamriga 24 hours aa laga dhiga some places marka indhihiina hala furo meeshaan this is not an individualistic issue ma ahan waxaa waaye ummadii way naga tambadeen 1 2 3 4 10 people ma loo waayo meelo oo lagu rehabilitation lagu sameeyo no yaa waxaan epidemican maxaa keenay pharmaceutical company keentay pharmaceutical company oo maantay oo
I was coming onto that FDA.
The FDA approved hortora halaga hadlo ninkaas anigu waxa aaminsanahay oo kaabo ugu dheereeyo oo toro number 1 ganaax gang la sheego anigu waxa ba aaminsanahay ay inay yihiin because billion sharci iyo contract uu adduunka dhan is hor keenay droga soo saara berina mal ii qabsan karo car accident la galaya gabdhaha car accident galayaan kaniini la soo siinaa kaniiniga jirkooda u bartee kaniini la'aan ma bashaqayn karaan marka qofkaas asima drug raadsada marka dadkii drug waa lagu sirooya ani aaminsanahay speak on it ladies I clap for myself
but remember
big clap for yourself. Another
Thanks,
one.
girl. Because I need to go 50. I'm not talking about 18 years old. I'm not talking about 18 years old. I'm not talking about in Switzerland, in Norway, in the other European countries. Or that there's facilitations. These are long time users. Dad kan waxa ay dad oo xataa drug raba in laga soo jaro bajirkooda la qabsadeen. Now this drug halmar
they get addicted.
They got addicted. Cold turkey must samayn karaan because way dhimanayaan way baqtinayaan. So tartiib aa looga soo lesson gareynoya. They're still giving them little dosage each day to wean them off, you know, inay ka soo saaraan wixii. But those are like 24 and above. There's different age groups. At 15 years old, this is when you're most impressionable. This is when maskaxda dhan laga xadi karo. There needs to be restrictions around this, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Especially overdose death by teenager are rapidly from 2010 to 2021, going 510 to 1,146. This is an article, death annually. Kawaran. Sanadki waxaa dhimanaya teenager 1,146. So as the years go by, there will be more and more and more. If there's no prevention, if there's no prevention facilities, because these government are looking for melaha and prevention ka lacag baa lagu luminaya, just the same as baby boomers. You remember the COVID?
Yes.
The COVID era? So seniors will go in.
But half of these people got citations. COVID balasime, and half the population right
dying.
now, they all have a case going on. Do you understand that? Waxaan waa some kind of elite mind baa dadki qabsatay. You know,
for instance, fentanyl, opioid, xylazine. You know xylazine? It's a genetic word. Where does that come from? Waa droga animal ka lagu seexiya. It's out in the streets now. It's out in the streets. It's narcotic. These are very dangerous we're talking about, wallahi. When it comes to FDA, now that you mention FDA is very wow. Drug manufacturing.
Talk about it. The biggest corruption of the world, Baba Kule. Dadki inta cirbada soo saareen oo weligood dadku baroobeen oo dhaheen adduunka looga dhigay and mandatory waxa la dhahay mandatory baa looga dhigay.
The FDA, it's going bankruptcy when it comes to narcotic laboratory. Go ahead, guys.
daawooyinkan waxaa ka dhawaajisa u maleyna qadaneer. daawooyinkan waxaa dadka baraan dhaqaatiirta iyo dadka u soo qoraya iyo wax macno laheena waxaa lagu soo qorayaa kaniiniga ugu foortasan iyo sharoobooyinka ugu foortasan. hadda ka hora markaa imaaday arkaa tagay qufac qalalana ahaay zaaid, marka welina covid muu soo bixin, dhakhtarka u tagay markaas arku nin cadaana jooge si fiican muu ii baarin, ad waxa muu ii wareysan qufac miyaha saas saliihaya qufacaas ay ahaayo. daawo sharoobo wuxuu isoo siiyey oo codeine maal dhahaa uu isoo siiyey, wuxuu dhahay isbuuc isticmaal laba mar maya wuxuu dhahay 3 mar 6 saac hal mar isticmaal. anoo 3 bari markaa wadaa ku dhahay midii labaad anoona qaadan madaxa xanuunaya, markaas waaya waxaan ama addicted ku noqotaa isdhahay waa baare ileen waa sharoobo addicted lagu noqdoba. marka ayaga dadka baraan.
I have a similar situation. You know, morphine. Can you imagine morphine or lugusinai? You know, do you understand how long morphine drug ladahayo? It takes weeks and months to even leave your system, you know? One time I got injected with morphine.
It's a
weeks. I could feel it because I felt it in my system, you know? I was off. And when I looked it up and I came to study about it and I realized the dangers of morphine. You know what I mean? In the system. Marka, I'm so happy that you sisters wallahi touched upon that, the pharmaceutical and especially the doctors iyo marka qof oo aad medicine ku ugu jirin iyo marka qof iska tahay very, you know, trustworthy or naive madahay hata just trustworthy, you know, you're relying on the doctor, you're relying on the health system. This is not your area of expertise, magarate, and you're really entrusting someone to give you the best guidance. Marka, I encourage a lot of you guys to ina hortoru and waxan information kan iyo and daawadan liso qoraayo ina label ka akhrisin, ina hata Google gashin, ina baartin the side effects, the hidden side effects. I think that would be very useful to you guys. And
I will say, Gupta, sorry. And marka dawo lagu qorayo, you have to know dawada generic word waxay ka dhigan tahay, because laboratory baa waxaan lagu test garaya any dawo horta manufacture FDA ka timaado whether it's narcotic or elsewhere wallahi ani personally I do not take even anda ilmahaygu xanuunsato like I learned from my lesson from mom's measles and rubella
Yeah.
vaccination
MMR ka or autism spectrum ka all the believe garay in kan ilmaha yar.
Yes. So any narcotic, whether it's outside on the street or doctorku wuxuu ku prescribe karayo, I do not trust. Your own self is your jirkaaga. You think doctorinta inay qaataan dawaday prescribe karayaan bini'aadanka kale? No, ma qaataan. To tell you the truth, wallahi ubillahi. These doctors do not even take their own medication. They go home, organic medication, herbal, Indians. You know, waxaas organic use garayaan. All of that waxa jirkaaga, you know,
Rejection is sameyna.
way eegaan aad
way soo saaraan mana isticmaalaan
waxay isticmaalaan ma jirto dhaqtaryaasha kulli coffee gaab u badan yihiin waa dad coffee gaab marka inta badan aniga la kulmay I don't know about you guys and runtii sidaa sheegteen waa ma baqaataan that's why dhaqaatiir u noqdeen natural medication waxaan waa agenda oo ka socoto FDA-ga iyo pharmaceutical company-ga because a lot of the times dhaqaatiirtan iyo hospital-kan board-ka u fadhiyaan lacagaha ay ka siiyaan funding-ka ay ka dhiibo marka qofka aduu lacagahaaga iyo funding-kaaga iyo employer-kaaga iyo wixii dhan oo noloshaada ku saabsan uu maanta dhiibayo dee way ku qasban yihiin dhaqtarkaas inuu saxiixo sida qofkaas u aragto haddii kale dhaqtarkaas ganaax baa laga dhigayaa sharcigi baa looga ciyaarayaa dhaqtarnimada meeshana waa laga eerinayaa waa laga saarayaa marka this is something or more than waxay dadkeenu u maleeyaan you know a lot of people are hadda dhahoy you know what guys qof 15 years jiro wax uu og yahay but what you don't understand is these walidkan ilmahooda in this serious technology ma la socdaan like had the epidemic aan ka hadalnay one time waxay had balloonka you know balloonkan la qarxinayo had the balloon la qarxinayo drugs gurigaaga hadaa ka erected balloon iyo something you wouldn't question it would you question it no but these parents even qof oo maantay reform programs educating them on the hardship oo ilmahooda ay encounter gareynayaan ma jirto ani taas kasir aan ka xanuunsanahay in terms of a lot of problems that community-geena ka dhacono a lot of taboo baa jiro in the cases of drugs had the two people are garanaya personally overdose noqdeen but guess what dadkoodii iyo familygoodii waxay dhaheen heart attack baa qofkan ku dhacay a lot of things in our community mal acknowledgement mal siinayo so
the death certificate waxay ku qoran heart attack because is
maya heart certificate ka waa lagu qorayaa overdose but as a community ahaan markii la dhaho heblayo or heblo or what happened why this happened waxa lagu leeyahay cunigi wax baa dikarb iyo something minimize baa laga dhigayaa
midda kale
in la acknowledge grade they have addiction waxa la dhaho within the community then if we acknowledge we can have facilities had the Minnesota they better than people here in Canada because ayaku waxoodu they acknowledge babasiyan ha we have epidemic ilmaheni Somali gabar iyo wiil hal shay ka xataa wiil ma dhihinaya gabar iyo wiil way u dhigan yihiin pharmaceutical-ka iyo kaniiniyaasha Sahal thank you brother it was nice good night thank you welcome again thank you for partaking WST so it's like they're acknowledging this and now they're looking for solution al raadinoya which is okay dadkan oo hadda dowladda maku siinayan rehabilitation center waa long wait that usually or the more successful you are the more easier it is for you to partake in it so dadkeeni intii addiction la siiyo oo jidka la dhigo ma looga dhaqaaqaya waa maya so in lacag la isku soo aruuriyo ahead and they have to build their own facilities and they have to bring their own doctors si the community-goodii arrintan looga caawiyo marka arrimaheena ma qarsan karno that's what I'm trying to say It cannot be hidden. We have to speak about it because 15 years old is too young to decapitate. You're decapitating them. You're making them non-mobile. Magarate. Mother of Sahad, welcome. Yes, you know.
ما waxaa jira waxaan rabaa inaan ka hadlo wax yar horta saddex wax oo kala duwan ka koobaad waxa weeyaan waxaan harm reduction ko aniga personally I believe dadka waaweyn oo maxaa la dhahaa imika laba qof oo overdose sameeyay baa sheegtay and I know so many people wallahi reason certificate ka loogu qoro heart attack waxa weeyaan markuu overdose kugu dhaco overdose-ka muxuu sameynayaa kiniiniyadani waxay qasayaan systemkaaga markay qasaan ma qaadan karayo wadnaha so heart attack baad u dhimanaysaa as a result laakiin maxaa la dhahaa waxa ka dambeeya waxa weeyaan waa drug yaad qaadatay that's why markasta overdose kuma qorayaan death certificate waxa ku qorayaan heart attack inaad u dhimato I know so many people oo la dhahay oo wadnahan baa
Tap the screen, share the live. This is such an interesting conversation. Thank you, my WSC fam.
I know so many people all la yidhaahdo waxay u dhinteen maxaa la dhahaa waxay u dhinteen heart attack iyagoo hurday naftu ka baxday so laakiin xaqiiqada waxa weeyaan saaxiibadooda iyo everybody else knows that it was overdose and it's really sad. Imagine, like I can't even imagine hooyada ama walaasha la dhiilgaraynaysa intuu ilmahaagii ama qofkaa jeclayd kaa dhintay haddana inaad qariso xaaladda dhabta u dhintay that's painful like wallahi waa xanuun weeyaan inaad intaad qariso aad tiraahdo another reason imika qofka aan garanayso qofkaagii oo accident ku dhintay oo gaari jiray haddaad tiraahdo isagoo jiifoo dhintay and you know that inuu accident ku dhintay qalbigaaga taasi xanuun fara badan bay ku qabanaysaa so as a community I make dad fara badan dadka ugu badan ee maxaa la dhahaa anaga waa la nooga badan yahay drugska isticmaalkooda dad badan waxa jira nooga badan laakiin dadkani they have been dealing with issue-yada noocan oo kale so many years ay la soo deal garaynayeen to a point where imika ay samaysteen harm reduction sites kan marka qofkii u baahan drugs overdose-ka laga ilaalinayaa infection-ka laga ilaalinayaa waxa laga ilaalinayaa hepatitis-ka iyo HIV AIDS-ka iyo wax kasta oo dhiigga iyo lagu kala qaadi karayo mukaska marka waxaa jirta anaga laba wax baa jira horta I agree with you 110% caruurta high school-ka in la tusa xataa maba ahaba because way u yar yihiin aad bay ugu yar yihiin maskaxdooda waxa dhici karta xataa inay u process garayaan information kan inuu yahay you know what hadii imika if it's safer then it means like it can be used moogtahay because waa caruur weeyaan message-ka si kale u translate garayn karayaan ta kale waxa weeyaan laakiin dadka waaweyn oo maxaa la dhahaa isticmaalaya already xaaladii ku jira waxa fiican inay isticmaalaan of course 110% meel kastoo adduunyada la joogo kiniiniyaasha waa ganacsi like that's one thing I know 110% because I remember waxa jirtay in back home walaalkay hospital ka shaqayn jiray my brother is a doctor hospital ka shaqayn jiray he got fired because he wouldn't prescribe as many medications as they want him to because waxay ku yidhaahdeen farmasiga dhan maba inta meesha joogtay farmasiga dhan maba socdaba what is going on with you like why are you not like farmasiga maxaa loo furay haddaana daawooyinka qoraynin
Absolutely. And that's one thing I was talking about.
Everywhere. Hakan kaliya maaha. That's like in that city is there's just Somali. Dad kaleba ma joogaan. Waa dadka dhan waa Somali.
Somali intay medicine ka helaan though. Who makes the medicine? They're getting imported. That's why wax dhacsan baa loo keenaa.
Everybody's trying to make profit out of it. Like qof kasta waxaas isku dayaya. Lakin we have to be really cautious about when we're talking about certain stuff marka waliba medication-ka because community in general they're anti-medication marka noqoto hooyooyinka aabayaalka dadka badan ee isticmaalaya maxaa la yidhaahdaa xanuunada haysta oo chronic conditions-ka I truly believe inay daawadooda qaataan because haddaa haysata hypertension or diabetes you can manage it, but it's difficult to manage without the medication. So I'm saying like mararka qaarkooda oo maxaa la dhahaa haddaa xanuunada noocaas oo kale haysata ama if you truly horta wax walba adiga educate yourself about the condition. Markaad xanuun isku aragta xataa hargab ha ahaado, go on wherever you trust it, website-ka buugga meeshaad adiga aaminto oo medicalka and you know website kasta you can't go on Wikipedia because haddaad website-ada qaar aada it's crazy. Laakiin haddaad maxaa la dhahaa website-ka saxda ah ama meesha haddaa qof tahay wax akhrin yaqaana website-ka saxda ahee ee webka oo medicalka iyo waxaas iyo journalada meesha CDC-ga meelaha aad educate yourself adiga isbar conditionka because the minute aad adiga barato caafimaadkaaga iyo we're all imika waxaan joognaa berigii hore dhakhtaradu waxay haysteen awood fara badan oo over us because iyaga waxay ahayd xalka kaliya waxaa iyaga inaan maqalo. Imika what you can do is you can learn about haddaa maanta xanuun lagugu sheego haddii diabetes haddii cancer ilaahay ma keeno lagugu sheego you should go on and study boqolkiiba because markaad waxaa barato you can advocate for yourself. Adiga waxaad samayn karaysaa you can have maxaa la dhahaa waxaa adiga samayn karaysaa oo ka qayb qaadan karaysaa decision making-ga xaaladaada caafimaad. Haddii kale adigoo ku hayso xumad yar baan ayaa lagu siin kara ayaa xanuun kiniina waaweyn sida imika abaya Miss Rosa iyo adiga aad sheegaysan kiniina waaweyn baa lagu siin. Haddii kale oo qufacayso just Amazon tag malab ka dalba the same malab you had.
Yes, natural remedies because you know there's a lot of sisters in my situation. There's sisters, you know, or aadada markay ku dhacda aad u safar gareeyaan with endometriosis or POC waxa la dhaho, and you know these are things that are very, you know, painful to experience. So even at a young age of like 15, 16, and you're going to the doctors and you know you're in excruciating pain, marka waxa lagugu prescribe garanaya and medications are very, very harsh. You know, at that waqti ad xanuun aku hay wax hata jirkaaga la gelinaya. Even me, you know, when I was getting the IV, it was just during that one time, right? But that one time, it was in my system for like almost 7-8 days, and you experience the side effects. So yes, absolutely, Kay, what you said is so prominent. How the world is advancing, we're not at a disadvantage. You know what I mean? And you can even some of these things, there's even you can take a picture and you can even upload it. And in that aspect, you know, even cuntayaasha cuntid, because a lot of the GMOs or cuntada ku jiro, some of these cudurro xataa ay ka keenaan when you speak about high blood pressure and when you speak about cancer risk. Waxyaalahaas is more so even in the ways that we eat and we take care of ourselves in our day-to-day lives. You know, our nutrition is a key factor. That's a different story. This story waxay ku saabsan tahay baalalkan oo maantay gurigaaga haddaa ku aragtid oo laga shakinaynin, and this uprise on, you know, narcotics, right? And who is supplying these narcotics to the children? 15 years old, you're decapitating them. You need to have more reform programs. You need to be able to have more awareness around the situation, and people need to be able to vote on these type of things, you know? I don't think there was a bigger awareness made, right? And community-geena haddaa ka hadalno, community-geena waxyaalahan agtooda waxayba ka tahay taboo, ma dhacaan, ma noqon karto. And we need to really question waalidkeena. And our last subject was about waalidka and how ilmaha waalidka maxay ka tabanayaan. You know, that viral video aan ka hadalnay gabadhii yareed oo dhahday de hooyaday maxay adduunka ii keenta anima weydiista adduunka inaa imaado. We spoke about that, and a lot of the time there's this disconnection between waalidki iyo youthki. Disconnection aa jiro, and this disconnection wuxuu keenayaa basically in all waalidki, good night Rosa, inuu waalidki out of the picture uu yahay. You get it? They're not fully informed. Marka, it's a big problem ani leeyahay.
Absolutely, wallahi. All that without being waxaasoo dhan waad ka hadasheen, autopsies, even autopsy, heart attack markuu ilmaha drug addict iyo waxaan ku dhaco. There's autopsies, taxaan, test laga qaado. The cause of that way ku qorayaan, mashallah. But
heart attack, Amina, usually older age lagu helaa, right? It's not very common.
yes. But these drogyaashan order is the cause, right? When it comes to minor age.
At 25 years old or healthy high heart attack, that's another form of saying they were heavy drug user at high.
Remember the heart, wadnaha is the main organ function. Or dhiiga sii qaado soo qaado oxygen maskaxda geliyo, it works, it bumps. Wallahi, it's amazing. If that stops, liver, the other organs you can stop or whatever, like transplant wala sugi kara, but the heart, when it stops, like it's the end of your life, right? So lack of awareness by Somali community ka maqan. I will say that within Toronto, Canada oo dhan waa inay like a strong community-based foundation oo adag soo bixistaan when it comes to this situation that is mainly focused on drug overdose within their teen or family yoga,
anigu waxaa qabaa they wouldn't even be gang violence haddii drug or control lagu sameyn lahay. The gang violence kan ilmaha dhimanayo, gang violence maba jiri lahayn qabaa.
No, gang violence waxa waa laga tagay. Now it's fentanyl baa socda 2023
and 2024, which leads to higher crime rates, right?
And have you and have you even, I don't know if you read, I pay attention with a lot. I have a lot of doctors, family members, dentists. Wallahi, billahi, what they talk about, it's amazing. There's a counterfeit, drug.
Yeah, there's a counterfeit. Now they came up with technology.
It's not even original.
They have laboratories. Now they created a testing thing. So they have laboratories to test for how the dealers are going to prison. They're going to jail for a very long time because their fentanyls and their drugs are contaminated. So now they're coming up with test strips to basically test, and it will be like yellow or half, and it will be able to like
all they care about
and show. They'll be able to detect. Yes, it will be able to detect and say, this is a bad batch. This is no good. We got to throw
When I heard this story, counterfeit drugs, I used to heard like counterfeit money, but drugs, I was
It's true. The world is getting so advanced.
It's fake.
It's the same thing that Kay said. Kay said, we think our 15-year-olds are innocent. How many of you guys have been to high school lately? How many of you guys have heard the music that these guys are listening to? And this is not just the face, Wahan is not just the face. This is becoming culturally accepted. It's becoming a norm for all these, for these younger youth, because they're being introduced to these things at such a young age. There's the new fashion, and it's very dangerous. We're stepping on very hot waters because when you look in our community and you see the incarceration rate, and then you see the death rate, and you see people as young as 20, 21 years old, 18 years old, 24, all under the age of 30. You know what I mean? And you're losing life to either overdose, to either gang. What are these gangs doing? They're selling drugs to make money.
This is what they do.
It's all related.
Drug overdose, you know what they do, right? My best friend is a doctor, right? And he literally tell me a lot of things, what's going on inside the hospital. Like inside the hospital, wallahi. Overdose marka imaha patient and qofka la keeno patient in the hospital right away. They check his pulse, all of that. Walaga qaada. Uba sii dhimanaya. You know what they do? Organs la baxaan. There are people that are 60, 50 years old, even underage, that are waiting for organs.
Absolutely.
Liver failure.
Organs were damaged.
Organ, liver, pancreas, even hididka, and the veins, the vessels, the brain, all of that is needed.
Of course it's needed. Because we are not going to ask and conduct autopsy. You know, your own private autopsy. How many times do you see people in our community, oh, Kudahayat, I want to be able to have my own private autopsy conducted. You know, it is you know, and because Islam Muslim and we cannot preserve the body because it's
You have to sign consent form ورقة consent وأنا صحيح in order to have autopsy done, right?
Exactly.
If you don't want it حق الدين ما وحينا يعني.
But how many of these private autopsies you know دكتوركود هادو كوسمي أو دولة كسعته you will never know the truth. You understand?
You'll be able to sue.
You'd be able to sue. But how many people are asking for autopsy is what I'm saying. How many people are asking for it in our communities when things are done against them?
None.
Thank you. That was what I'm saying. There's restrictions, barriers and restrictions to أجره. ما فهمت. You know. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say horta waxaan moogta waxani waxa weeyaan waa problem dadkan masaakiinta soo guura ee weli geediga ku jira iswada khilaafsan hooyooyinka single momka korinayaan haddana maxaa la yidhaha bulsho ahaan iyo community ahaan aan lahayn muwaafaqo ma lihin mana lihin maxaa la yidhahdaa dadaalna ma jiro oo xataa dadkii qofka ka soo baxay communitygana wax barta they're moving out meel kale aadayaan inay nolol tan ka fiican they're like we're moving away from the ghetto, you know. marka waxaa jirta imika iskuullada ay baa iskuul oo dadkan wadankan jooga ee awoodda ay leeyihiin would never had that kind of incident ee loo qaybinayo caruurtooda waxaa they have their own meetings, they take care of their children, they know what's going on with their kids. macalinka iyo isku xiran yihiin waalidku.
Absolutely.
Laakiin annaga
private schools. We need to
that's it's not even private schools, public schools ka neighborhoodyada maxaa la dhahaa dadka lacagta leh iyo dadka wadankan dee awoodda kule ay degan yihiin. They have like everything. wax kasta waa order buu u yahay iskuulkooda macalinka wax kasta waa laysla ogyahay. They know what goes on in and out. way ogyihiin. annaga iskuulkan ay noqotay caruurtii neighborhoodka dadka low income ka dadkii masaakiinta dadka dhan lagu soo wada xareynay waalidkii ama Englishba kuma hadlaanba ama kama badba yimaadaanba caruurtii ama macalinkaba imika maanta this is totally unrelated. I think maanta mar dhaweydna waan sheegay hooyo waxaan arkay oo qaylinaysa I think inay ahayd I don't know hadday cadaan ahayd but I saw it on TikTok oo qaylinaysa because cunugteeda waxa lagu sameeyay transition without knowing her. I think ma 14 ahayd mise 11.
I think it was 11. But this has been happening a lot.
That's scary. Like waalidka ilmahaagi hadda waxa ka dhacay iskuulka sababta u geysatay waxa weeyaan iskuulka waxaad rabtaa inay kula soo hadlaan if there is anything hadduu wax uun dhaco ma ogtahay. laakiin anaga waxa weeyaan iskuulkina xiriir lama lihin community ahaana strong ma lihin wixii dhibaato ah dhexdeena ka dhacana waan qarinaynaa ma garatay oo imika intii dhibaato la oran lahaa you know what ilmahayga waxaas uu u dhintay I want to be able to speak about that. ma raba inuu ilmo kale oo kayga ama ilmo kale oo familygayga ama ilmo kale oo Soomaaliya ama ilmo kale oo Muslim inuu ku dhintay I want inaad aniga xaaladayda iyo dhibkayga wax ka barataan and I know waalidka like waxa la dhiil garaynayaan because ma rabaan shame-ka ay u keenayso iyo waxyaabahaasba waxa weeyaan at some point waa we have to overcome tabugan iyo fearkan iyo waxyaabahan oo inaan nidhaahno you know what intaasoo caruura naga dhintay sida imika Minnesota oo kale Minnesota well I'm really proud of them because we isku imaadeen they're really trying inay sameeyaan inay isbedel sameeyaan bay isku dayayaan as a community. I know we laga badan
and you know you guys even maanta waa ka hadle even always waa ka hadla in my introduction piece waxaa dhahaa you guys markuu jabna qabsado markuu xumaanna qabsado the way of moving forward is وحنا عن قبنا in taboo laga dhigin in judgment ka oo umada lagu sameynayo in la joojiyo. We have to have healthy dynamic meel aan maanta imaan karno oo ku nafisi karno oo problemyaashina uga hadli karno in a way that and understanding there is people, a group of people or meshan tagen inay ku taageeraan ee ku caawiyaan. That is the point of WST Foundation and Wellness. Not ina dhaho aniga maanta hadii gurigayga la soo jabiyo oo dareemade I'm nobody and you know arinteeda sheeganin. That's not going to create change and that's not going to help nobody and that's not going to spread awareness. You understand, you guys? Marka, we have to be had the topic aniti akahadlin for 1 hour. Topic aniti, I guess WST mesho akamaknen maybe for 1 week. You know, the adrenaline kind of died down, or maybe it's that, you know, we're just getting back from a long weekend and people are really tired. It could be various different reasons, but more in hadal kan oo la soo qabsada ahayd oo maanta waxa sugay dadka in a personal story u share gareeyo, meaning you maanta dibka ku gaare ijabka ku gaare, it could be your purpose. Adduunkan waxa lagu keeno oo Ilaahay ku keeno oo ku abuuray aka wacdisid oo ku noqon kara ma garate. So if you would like to interact, yes, if you guys would like to interact with us, please do come up like he said. Mante, you know, marka ani arintan ku dhacay dad badan la hadle, and some people you'd be surprised knowing that community yashan or minority community ka imadan, knowing that they are marginalized, knowing that they are racialized, knowing that there are men and women or hoyasho that daw ala so garsi because of a choice that they choose to make. And today they can be paving the way for younger generations. They can be educating people. Like this article said, when I was in high school, I heard powerful guest speakers. The guest speakers, Osan no shegre, Odahan, even Wihi Hada Gelen, even Drogi Hada Ansemenin, at least we are going into it with a full image of the disaster waiting for us. You understand? So this is needed in our community. This is wanted in our community. And I encourage you guys to really think about it. Are you living for somebody else? Are you living for an image? Or are you willing to share your pain, your trials, your tribulations in hopes of making a change? In creating a change, in creating a movement, in creating awareness, being the forefront leaders of your own community, of your families. This is why we have such an isolation of people. This is why we have, you know, anti-socialism. qof hadlaysa ma jirto, qof protest garaynaysa ma jirto. Gabdho oo maanta British Columbia degan iyo Vancouver hadday jiraan oo xataa nooga sheekeyn kara arrintan, vote weyn ma loo dhigay, Somali community xataa over there way jiraan. Did you guys partake in it? Are you talking to your MPs, Kina? Okay, voting season is coming up. How many of you guys are talking to the MPs? Google local area that okay yeah nahakumo ninka taliyaha in the area inakta taliyaha in the area yeyihin ye ka kooban yihiin. Okay, I have 4 and 5 6 of my friends every day ba salam alaykum sahra wa ku salam walaalo every day ba heblaayi barro iyo kan ba madfac ba inta ka dhacay hal soo aruuray lacagta dur ku jirtiin every day ref. So why don't you take your 3-4 friends and act on office keeda wacdihin, call her or him and say, hey, we want to show up, we want to have a meeting with you. I swear to God. And that's how I would be rolling. Listen, we have an agenda here. Anaku, we want to support you. This is a deal. This is an agreement. They need a vote. They want to be a representative. Even could taxpayers at community gina ilmihina arabtin hogamiyo isi sharaf isi wanaagsan in all malikas and liso dawaqo and to involve you. Marka to get to, you better involve yourself anilehe. You better involve yourself. You start calling these people, okay? English that can say have one person only with a hadlo. And have somebody to speak on your behalf. Interpreter sohado. Do not allow anything or anyone to prevent you from making a better choice. Vote with your voice. Wakas walay sahrani dahade. Ani taasa ni soo jeedin lahay. Waxaan oo dhaxdhaxaadka iyo waxa qarsan iyo landeer aan ahna iyo kana ahna iyo hello is not taking you anywhere. Over there ne bra you're not living. Over here, you're not living. Go on YouTube. Go
And
watch
next thing you know, warkaa lagaa soo saaray ilmahaaga markuu dhinto. It's very sad.
Shock baba
Toronto, wallahi, the only thing Toronto dishay waa its own community when it comes to.
Tap the screen, ladies. Let's get to 10K tonight. Tap the screen, Anilehe. This is the type of talks it's going to take to change the community. And I would like to see more of my people get involved in these talks, get involved in the conversations. Magarated, I know things are nearing down. I know schooliyadi al-hiroya. I understand that ilmihi project yal badane leeyihiin. Anigu hata waqti aniga maqnay. I believe in taking time for myself. I'm a one-person mission, you know, and I cannot divide myself into everything. So sometimes for my own wellness, for my own, you know, mental health, I need to kind of take a little break. I need to be able to go and look at, I have great news. I was able to go back. Hadda, if you go on this, my platform, WST platform, Hadda 14, and click YouTube, all of the lives, all the previous lives, tonight you can go to YouTube, 3 hours, why some of them 3-hour lectures on our community, panelists speaking, you know what I mean? Don't look at their voice, look at their heart and look at their message, okay? That's where we need to be focused at. I recommend you guys, Ina Tikteen, subscribe to YouTube and watch WST Life Cody on mental health spectrum, on autism spectrum, on addictions and why is it taboo, on AI and chat TBG. Kulli, what has done is up online. Parenthood, you know, the reasons for family dynamic, reasons for marriage, you know, the attack on all of these things. Waxay ku saabsan yihiin awada waa heli kartaa on YouTube. That's right.
That's great news, mashallah. قد dadkii dhammaan dadku dhaafay oo dhan imku way ka faa'iideysan karayaan. Dad badan waxa jiray obviously.
YouTube mar andaa gelisayba, wow.
Yeah, it's on YouTube, you guys. If you go on WST and you click the link, I provided the link on the page. Wallahi, anigu, these days, what kasab is today? That's why I was like, wow, I'm taking notes. You know, it's different when you listen quietly without interruption. You are able to extract so many great information on Ilehe. I know they're long, but even skip through, you know what I mean? And let that message really resonate on Ilehe. This cannot be the only way. This channel was created to invoke and empower people and to uplift people, you know, and say, hey, do not feel hopeless. Ilahi hopeless makadigine. Do not be hopeless, you know, continue the good fight. Dad kan or representative ke dad kan dowlad dad ba elect garesteen.
All activists, yeah.
You citizenship, or citizenship kan paper kan maxa ku sugas inaad dhooftid leeya. What you use it is your power, is your key. Citizen ba meel kasta la soo istaag. I have a voice and I pay taxes. I work for this country. I'm a contributing member, meesha la soo istaag. So, even 4 people saw wado, 2 people saw wado. Say we need agenda then our agenda. My neighborhood is lacking this, you know? I'm not gonna lie to you. In my own neighborhood, in my building, yeah. This shit is really happening on broad daylight, but on live daylight, 11 o'clock so one sock toss it. Hebla he. Mount building came in the front masomerte. No, I have not. Hey, stag go. I literally bought hako korhirte rope kegi. One or day, camera de the also dash. The MP, the councillor, the the CEO of where I live. Do you understand? First name and last name basis. Even the mayor. Wali respect inu sameeyo. Even the mayor denounce lagu sameeyo waa ogtihiin denounce lagu sameeyo ninkii affair ibalay i cheating uu lacagaheena ku sameeyay.
Yeah, John Tory. There's a new one
but guess what? His office, they have a duty to the citizen. Inta member uu la shaqeynay, they have a duty to us. So asiga hadii la ganaaxay, inta qof kale cusub oo miiskaas la soo fadhiisanayo, his secretary and his people, they need to take care of us. I said, "Bal arag, I have 3-year-old ilmaan dhehe, yeah? Anigo adeega la soo socdo, ilmahan waa ogtahay way biibayaan dug 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 dug. Albaabkaas way iga soo horfuri kartaa dhehe. Right away, needle waxay ku tahay ma ogtahay 3-year-old. This is contamination dhehe. This is deadly dhehe. Guess what I'm asking for, Hadda? You want to know what I'm asking for? I'm asking for full-time security, 24-hour security. You need a little kiosk. Kiosk, one kiosk. Building kan ina so in the parking lot of the kiosks. Right now. That's what I'm requesting me and my community. Cool community C. Chain email of 30 people. Alo draya. 30 people now we're concerned. Straight up. That's it.
That's, you know, thank you so much for sharing. Wallahi, thank you so much, Gupta, for sharing that, because that's not just important for you. Waxaa jirta oo community-geena anaga dhibkan haysto waxa weeyaan lahaansho ma dareemayno, you know? Wadankan waan degnay, waan niminay, 30 years aan degnay, caruur baan ka dalnay, haddana lahaansho ma dareemayno. We still feel like, oh, dadkan waa so nice, waynaga wax bay noo sameeyeen, they took care of us, soddon sanaad u shaqaynaysa, soddon sana warshad subax kastaad kala haysay, warshad baad soo tumaysay, taxi baad waday, ka xanuunsanaya, ka koodaad sii qaadaysay. haddana still ma dareemaysid lahaansho. Inferiority complex baa kugu jira, waxa kugu jirta you're not the same as anybody oo wadankan ku nool. And wallahi truly waxaan dadkeena ku arka waxa weeyaan is like Allah ma waxaas baad raadinaysaa, or like they look at you like you're crazy inaanad waxba ku lahayn wadankan, but everything waad haysatay iyagaad siinaysaa, xoogaaga iyagaad siinaysaa, caqligaaga iyagaad siinaysaa, dadkoodaad serve garaynaysaa, including yourself. meeshaadina uma noqonaysid probably noloshaada xaggan aad ku dhamaysanaysaa. So noloshaada dhan had dareemin inaad parasite tahay, dareen inaad wadankan wax ku leedahay, waxaad ku leedahayna u dagaalan. There's nothing aad ku helayso adoo kursigaaga fadhiyo. Everything. wax kasta ood rabto waa inaad u dadaasho, waa inaad u dagaalanto. Dadkan imika haddaad aragtid community-yadan wax haysta, kuwan wax helaya, kuwan maxaa la yidhahdaa wax loo samaynayo, kuwa wax loo dhisayo, kuwa iskuulada fiican haysta, kuwa parkiyada fiican haysta, dhammaantood they knew the system, they navigated the system on their own, they requested it. Way u dagaalameen, way u qayliyeen, protest ay sameeyeen. Annagana waxa weeyaan, oh, you know what, it's like it's enough. Community waxaad moodaa guriga community housing-ga iyo qofka ama cayr qaata ama wax lagu siinay inaaba adduunka dhan loo kala kiciye. That's issue-geena. Waalidkeena issue-ga haysta waxa weeyaan lahaansho ma dareemayaan, weli waxay ku jiraan dib baa loo noqonaya. Lama noqonayo, we're here. Reality-ga waxa weeyaan we're not going anywhere.
Thank you. Thank you. Go down wallahi think a lot. Ani dahay anigu soo celcelinay 4 bil waxay ahayd war meel aan u laabano ma joogno, so we intan waa ku baaba'oonaaye. Let's just start doing the work. It's not going to kill you in a maswariyaal qaadid a few of snapshots every day boqol maswar meelahan la soo dhigaayo. Okay? And it doesn't take a genius in a hatid maahan. Af Soomaali hadalkaa ku qor, af English translate ha lagu sameeyo. Straight up.
Ana Gupta. I'm sorry. And
wiilkana welcome gareno. Abdi welcome walaalo soo dhawaad. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
أهلا
وسلام أنت.
Yes. سلام الله ولاله. هاي وقت يرمن اللي جوكته وحدا سوق بسته because عوضه وحكهد لني بالكان إيجا قد عليه وحاوي article أو صوب بحي أو مشان أو كندا كمد أو لده فانكوفر BC إن أو قلادين المها طبعا إيشن سنة iyo kuwii ka sii yar oo high schoolka in alaabtan oo la dhiibo for free, schoolka in laga dhiibo for free. Baalkan cocaine-ka asanka looga qaataa. Waxay dhaheen cocaine-kii prominent bay noqotay, arrin weyn bay noqotay, ilmihiina intaa dhiman lahaayeen oo overdose ku dhici lahaayeen, safe way baa bareynaa sida cocaine-ka loo qaato. Baalkan baa usoo saarnaan siineynaa, ilmaha kale sidee share ula sameynin oo contamination meeshaas u dhicin. Arrimahaasaa ka hadleyne. عوض بن كسر دواد ولا لا؟
كدوه.
هاي فكرة maxay tahay adigu qof qurbaha jooga ma tahay qof waalid ma tahay haddaan ahayn waa caadi arrimahan maxaa ka leedahay walaalo
Muhammad Jibta. This is Muhammad from Western Lawrence. Am I wrong?
oh is it Muhammad this is different story well Muhammad
Is it him?
he no I don't think
No,
so
it's not
Please,
him.
Muhammad in
That's
the
not his
street.
voice.
no
No, aniga ma qof kale
Okay,
ku
sorry,
jiro.
sorry, Malal. Sorry.
this is very wrong Sahara ay ay ay
Western
But I don't
Lawrence.
of it.
Knew I knew.
WST
Dad.
member ka ahay moho.
okay remember haddaad tahay waa caadi anaka WST family anahana qof kasta waa soo dhaweynaa but dadku waxaa jecelnahay really sida anaka passionate u nahnaa vocal u nahnay aan dadkeena rabna inaan u dheerigelino u taageerno aan kicino waryaada horta hore ka caawada tonight fingergaasha laga shaqaysiiyo ding 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 tap the screen marka that's we want inaa taladaada na siisatid you know your experience share with us maybe we learn something from you maybe you even save a life out there tonight you maybe you
Waa
might
waxaan
really
The
need
newcomer experience.
dhegeyso
Sorry,
WST
Muhammad.
aniga
Muhammad,
anaaba
you
shan
need
iyo
the
toban
newcomer
jira marka
experience.
waxaa waaye waxaas waa ii daran yihiin ma fahanti
drugska makuu daran yihiin
waa ii daran yihiin 15 jir ah aniga drugs dhan le ma tusi karo
okay
Okay, schoolka maxaad ku aragtay? Tell us your experience.
bismillaahi raxmaani raxiim oday weyn ah aniga
Caruurta schoolka maxay sameeyaan? Ciyaarta ka baxa Muhammad, we're being serious here.
Mohammed, we're
Hadda
gonna let you
serious
go.
waa dhegeysan
I'm
hadda.
gonna have to let you go, Mohammed. Adi troll askite,
WST.
marmar waa iska kaftan
may wallahi
badan
troll baa dhegeyso
tahay.
hadda aniga walaalay maxaan ku darsadaa ilmana iima joogaan oo iskuul aadaan
Mar waxa
Newcomer experience, newcomer experience. Wiilasha newcomer ka ahe.
This is the problem. Ani runta
Walaal,
sheega.
community-ga wax aad ku biirin kartid ku biiri. Voice does
May
matter.
ma rabaan problem.
aniga anaa ku
Okay,
biiri
this
waa
is
ku
exactly
biirinaya
what I
Xitaa
said.
haddaanan ima haysanin. Meesha waa
Waxaan
lagu
saabinaya.
qaadanaya yaan la qaadanaya
Walaalo,
You-
anaa kula hadlaya.
Lovely Ayan, our topic was drugs being distributed to our children as young as 15 years old. This thing that I have behind me is pretty much saying, you know, in high school, we used to have powerful speakers, guest speakers, pamphlet baladibi jire, and posterial baladibi jire, conference also jedin jire, ilmihi ine arkaan dadka drogistada inuu noloshooda ugu sheekeeyo, dhibaatada oo ka taagan in laga sheekeeyo. And you know ilmaha side maanta muuqaal iyo arag you know both of it they heard and they seen marka choice-ka ay ku yaala but maanta in la dhaho speaker na ma jiro there's no speaker there's no poster there's no conference waalid ma la wacaayo straight balkaniti snorting we're gonna help you snort out a line baaba la taagan yahay marka arrintan Vancouver BC ka dhacday which is within Canada province kaas waa province weyn Toronto waa meel weyn oo caasimad camal ah Ottawa waa ogtihiin Calgary waa ogtihiin
marka waa caasimad
camal ah
abay WST
Calgary waa ogtihiin marka waa caasimad camal ah ani Mohammed waa ka daale marka I want asxaabteeda oo serious ka ah waana soo qabsan kartiin who is distributing this the high schools are giving this out anigu baalka marka arkay wax drug ma umaleynaynin ma garatay wax oo naagaha oo isticmaalana umaleynaay marka ayaana soo qabanaya ayaan salaamu calaykum bye macaan soo dhawaad
Salamintihin. I'm a bit shocked. I'm sorry. I just came in. Okay, wait. So
I know.
I'm trying to understand this. So this is happening in Canada? Okay, got it.
Yes, in BC. You can really beat the article. I kind of read it for you. It said, when I was in high school, we heard from powerful guest speakers on why doing hard drugs had serious and potentially deadly consequences. Now we are handing out safer snorting kits to children as young as 15 years of age. And anigu shocked by because balkan waxa umaleenay tampon wa indahaygi baab istireenan bal u kaadi and I was just shocked just like you know and I wanted to speak on it.
Yeah, what happened to don't do drugs? I'm so confused. Don't do drugs.
Thank you. And I don't know if you want to get, if the other girls, Kay and Amina, I'll let you guys take this over. Anyway, you can probably help Ayan, catch Ayan up on what we were discussing all night.
No, that's okay. No, I'm just Hakoda, has there been any pushback as far as the community is concerned?
That's what I'm saying. That's
Okay.
literally what we're doing here in
Okay.
WST. We are saying wake up. Somali dena wake up. Anaku community gena la hakulena he. Dadki Islamet kala way baku'oyane. Anaku, why are we in such a denial about our circumstances and our
Good
conditions and our
did he come in
youth?
Toronto? Toronto mo imide.
Way maniyan. Halas
Oh.
is a chain reaction. Adukan wa chain reaction. Magala then as big as BC. Hadi lago ogolade. What makes you Toronto is not gonna be on the same thing.
Okay, let's contact the writer.
We need to
wrote it?
contact everybody
Like,
right now. We
the
need to say
journalist
this is
there.
enough. We had enough. We don't have back in the day like Waugate and Gabdi or teenage pregnancy while like a protest garanjere. Education like a dibijere. Reform classes like a dibijere. While ki ulmihi hata parenting class a lo dirijere. A little dog toy a
Little do you know it's gonna be in classes. You know that? It's very main concern.
This is like
It's gonna be
you know,
school cat soon. TDSP, right?
It's very ilmahan wa impressionable. Wa the peer pressure is very true, you guys. You know, wahan wa 15 years age, decapitating ba kusimena sa nolosh 15. You don't even have your first job at 16 years old. Where are you getting the money to buy these drugs? You know, we need to ask these hard questions. And why? Who's on the school board? Where's the meetings with the parents? You know, in our community, do we even have something called rehabilitation centers? That can be Behestan. We don't have free rehabilitation center. Hada. We don't.
The school council and all of that has to be part of it.
It's not only Adan people, but I'm saying compared to majority of us, compared to Adan people, we might be considered low income families. We might be at a disadvantage. أنا كنت only قربها جوجا بقنا maybe 40 years. You know what I mean? We come from a society where most hoyos, they have 4, 5, 6 kids. You know, we're not here to overgeneralize and say, hey, this is all of us. But we're here to say this is a fact and this is happening right in front of our noses.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Anika, I live in the US, but if you're not on that table, you know, if you're not like sitting there and being part of the people that are making the decisions that are being made for you, Marka, I would implore all of you that are in Canada that this will affect to get involved in this board, because this had to pass the board.
Exactly.
Like, they had to pass it, and there's no way they should get away with this.
I was looking for sisters on live tonight that were living in BC. I wanted them to get on the live and speak on what their position as a mother or as a community person, what their position is. You know, we have to empower them. This platform is to empower you, is to uplift you, is to give you a voice, is to say, yes, you can and you will. You need to execute this, and you need to talk to like-minded people. And citizenship, you're a civilian, you are a taxpayer, you are part of society, you do have a voice. And I'm suggesting that instead of saying we can't do anything, no, focus on the mission. And the mission is you need to be sitting somewhere on these school boards so your voice can be given to the situation, so we don't have things like this happening. That's all I'm suggesting.
And also elections. People think that voting for president or whatever prime minister is like the biggest thing. No, your local elections are what impacts your life day to day, every single day. Your city council, your board, your judges. You have to get out there and vote.
Thank you. Please vote. Please vote. They're dying. They're at dire situations trying to get their voices. And you take a tape recorder and you record every goddamn promise that's being made to you. And the next day when they break one of those promises, you get on your little email and you start ticking away and you attach that and you send it out and you say, sir, you violated this one, and this one. You know, you are a fraud. Wallahi, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. This is a exchange. You know, give and take. Ayuku, they want to see seat, they want a maga. Adigana, you want your community to be served in the most proper way possible. You want to be able to protect the people that you care about the most in this world. And who are those people? Your children and your community members and your families, and you need to have a voice. So we are here to tell you guys.
See, gabadhan waxay ka hadlaysay gabadha Rio in Canada and America. You see, Canada, it's it's 200 something years old, yeah. But America, the 52 state, America is considered, it is capitalism, right? Every 52 state has its own law, rules, all of that. Canada, waxa xakunta who? The Queen, right? So we do not have 52 states. Our voice, even community, sitting at the board, you know, there's more discrimination here, I believe, than in the United States itself, right? I don't know. What do you think about Gupta?
Anigo, I say that all the time. You know, Umar Wuhudah, BC has the drug epidemic, and Umar, we completely understand that there's an epidemic. And what these people are doing is no different than what's happening in Europe and Norway and Denmark. These programs are installed there, but these programs are installed there in a way to help people be safer, right? But who are these people? These people are adults, okay? They're adults who have severe addiction to fentanyl. Do you understand? And opiates and heroin. One day in that you cannot stop. So they have to wean it off you. They have to wean it off you by giving you smaller dosages. So they have nurses and doctors and other people, social workers overseeing these individuals that sign up to these programs. Do you understand that? These are not 15-year-olds, but to come to high school, what mother send her child and what father send their child to high school to be taught how to do drugs safer? Like, what are you talking about? Drugs safer. Well, you should be talking about why you shouldn't be doing drugs. You should be giving lectures on why there shouldn't be drugs. You should be having guest speakers like we used to 10 years ago and 11 years ago as to why. You should give children the visual. Like, I think it was Rosanna who said before she left us, there was a lady who was missing her entire nose. Take that lady and bring it to a 15-year-old and see what happens. Even when they do that drug, they're going into it with awareness. What could potentially happen to them down the line? But when you have a bunch of 14 and 13 and 15-year-olds who are impressionable, who are peer pressured. Do you remember high school was a nightmare? I don't know if you guys attended high school, but high school in the Western world was a nightmare. You get bullied for everything. Trust me, even a girl like me has gotten bullied to the teeth. If I tell you about how many people bullied me, it was outrageous. For stupid stuff, you wore your scarf this, your lips are this, you smell, you smell like unsi. Even the unsi and the atar from the house, they had a problem. The foods I ate, they had a problem. Every day.
Yeah,
every day was an attack on your identity, your culture, as an immigrant, as a newcomer, as people. Yes, it is an attack, is a nightmare. Do you think I came to my house and told my mom? I had these conversations with my mom? No, I didn't have anybody to open up to and talk about these hardships that I was experiencing. We were like shunned down. Either we fought a lot or we acted out by doing other things, right? To numb that. So the whole point is these are impressionable young children. They don't even have a license to drive. They don't have ways of making money. And if you introduce these things to them, you are decapitating them before their life even began. And that is what we're here to denounce. And that's what we're here to talk to our community. These things should not be a taboo. He's retired from that. And we should submit for that person and encourage that person and uplift that person. You understand? Help that person to go save lives. Sorry, you guys, that was a whole lot, but that's where I'm on.
No, I agree with you.
I agree with you.
Umar, come on here and explain yourself. If you know if you have a lot of insight on this, I would definitely love to hear from you. Are you able to come on
Omar
here?
has one flower, so he's not coming up.
I'm so sorry, Umar.
I'm
I wish,
sorry.
you
The
know,
best
I do
people have to
understand that
follow
BC has
Umar,
a higher
maybe.
population. I do understand that the narcotics are very heavy. They're here very heavy. I do understand that there's a high overdose, but I too need you to understand these are not people of age, period and point blank. These are children. Right now, if you go to jail, they should call your mom. Before the police interview you, you need to have an adult present. So until you're able to pull that child and bring awareness to their parents and seek rehabilitation, that
Gupta,
is
who
what's needed.
Gupta, who is the Ministry of and
Oh, I just
health?
Everybody
Is it
follow
Jani?
Umar. Follow Umar.
The Ministry of Health in Canada. Jani? I don't know.
I haven't never
But
reached
yeah.
out to that in
You know,
lately.
I think
To be
it's
Yeah, I
honest.
know. I don't even
contradicting.
know.
Like,
That
dhibka
is
jira
not my
wuxuu yahay.
subject. Yeah.
No, dhibka jira wuxuu yahay, as a community, there are certain things oo aan u baahannahay oo ay jidka kala duwan ay u baahan yihiin iyo waxyaabo aynaan u baahnayn. Imika schoolkan, I think weli hadalaa ka socda, weli hadal baa ka taagan, considering BC inay tahay magaalooyinka kamida ugu yacni bahalkan isticmaalka drugska. I think North America meelaha ugu horeysay ku jirta uu ka yahay waxaan yani isticmaalka drugs ugu horeeyo all over North America. And wadooyinkeeda imika downtownka haddaad tagtid oo kale, I think they also have the most homeless people. And at some point waxani way u baahan yihiin for two different reasons, because dadka dad badan baa waxay ku dhimanayaan in iyagoo ama overdose ama waxyaabaha xaaladaha kala yimaada. It's not entirely, aniga kama soo horjeeda entirely the whole idea of maxaa la dhahaa kidskan, laakiin kidska in lagu specifically kidska 15 years, I think dad badana ka caraysan online iskuulka xataa investigationa ku socda in laga hadlo why, because randomly presentation la sameynaya ninkan isagaa keenay ninka meesha yimid guest speaker ka ahaa. But I think in caruurta loo kaadi, like you're focusing the wrong group. And
Thank you. I have to clap for you. I have to. That's literally the point. Listen to that. That is literally the case. That's the whole point. We're not denying that this is an epidemic.
Exactly. The problem ka jira wuxuu yahay anaga as I don't know, North America aniga waxaan ku arkay marka dadka ay gunshots ku dhimanayaan TikTok baa la focus garaya. Agendaha waxa la sameeyaa aftuu baa lagu sameeyaa, sheekada dhan dibka meeshuu ka jira mooye meel kale xalka lala aadaa. Why do you have to do that? Why can't you just focus on dad waxaa jira imika adults waxay haystaan over thousands of people or adults or gidaarada jiifa oo waxaan isticmaalaya oo kidska ka faa'iideysan karaya. Why do you have to run with it at schoolka caruur 15 aad ugu geynaysa? You don't even know caruurtan hadday isticmaalaan percentage-ka imisa isticmaala. Where is the research the schoolkan laga sameeyay lagu ogaado in caruurta dhan ay isticmaalaan?
And precautionary measure came mentioned. Precautionary measure. What do they do to even prohibit this to begin with before it became an epidemic?
Exactly.
What did you have in stone to prevent
Why
this?
can't you take them to the streets? Why can't you take them down the streets? Dadka jirtifan dadka oo maxaa la dhahaa oo dhibaatooyinkan ku dhaceen oo addictionka ku dhacay so many years la noolaa, jirkoodii baaba'ay, noloshoodii ka dhacay, kidskoodii reerahoogii kala. That could be actually 10 u noqon lahayd haddii caruurta instead of intaad la soo cararayso in this is the problem kan anaga waxa weeye, I don't know what's wrong with our leaders. They do the opposite of whatever we need. Haddaa loo baahan yahay shaax biyo la soo caraan, haddii biyo loo baahan yahay caanay keenaan. Like you don't have to do that. You can actually haddaad problem ka focus garayso, then you can actually xalad keeni karaysa. And I know Umar imika wuxuu inanka hoosta soo qoraya. I understand BC حتى تورنتو وحبا يعني حالتها way xun tahay wallahi. Toronto حتى حالتها way xun tahay.
Very bad here in downtown.
We spoke about pandemic caruurteena ay ku dhimanayaan, inta caruuraha maalin kasta overdose u dhimatay la yiraahdo heart attack bay u dhinteen. We spoke about that. Laakiin imika the 10% ee caruurta ee safe ka ana they're gonna think like, okay, no, there is a safer way to do this. I have been meaning not to do it, but now that I have a safer way to do it, maybe I could do it. You know, idea عرورتني mature
I
معها.
think children that are 10 years old, if they're doing drugs, then their parents need to be in jail. That's أنا واحد دهوية. Straight up.
Exactly.
Straight up.
And the other
Do
thing
not tell
with
me
kids
there's
is
kids as young as 10 and 9 years old. What are the adult, what is the person responsible for them in their life doing? You are responsible for your child up until the age of 16 years old and 18 years old in some states, in some provinces, in some places in the world. You know, you're not even an adult until you're 21 years of age in some places. So maybe we need to have these people be brought to court.
So in other words, the parents has to be an account and responsibility lagu hayo. That is absolutely true. Well,
tap the screen. This has been an intriguing conversation. We're just going to be nearing down pretty soon. Let's see if we can get to 10K tonight. Yeah.
Lady came ka dhaxgalay.
No, the one thing I rabay inaan dhahdo waxa weeyaan on top of that. Oh my god, I think I forgot. But I just wanted to say in general, waxa jirta wax kasta waxa jira ina meesha maaragtay looga baahan yahay in la raadsado. Imika waxyaabo fara badan hadda markaan hadlayno waxyaabo fara badan baan ka hadalay. Mid kale, the number one issue that we should be educating the children and high school kids is clear dhibaatadu ma aha inaad isticmaasho drugs at the age of under 20 maskaxdaada xataa fully ma develop garoobin moogtahay marka this drugs you don't know what these drugs are doing to your mind like waa inaad ka fikirto what drugs kan isticmaalkoodu maskaxiyan not just in drugs kan qof kasta uma fiicna laakiin markaad ilmo yar tahay mental developmentigaaga waxbaa ka sii noqonaya. So there's no coming back. That's irreversible. Coming back from that. We should be teaching kids about dhibaatada ay ku keenaysa waxani as a child haddaad isticmaasho maskaxdaadana ayna mature ahayn it's irreversible. Mentally waxbaa kaasi noqonaya forever. So why risk that? You know, qof kasta caruurtan they just need in wax la fahansiya. They want life. They want nolol qurux badan. They're dreaming about becoming something, you know?
Absolutely. That is absolutely right, Kay. Yes, we no time in BC for using drugs. I understand there's no consequences, Omar, and that is the whole issue. There is no sentencing for these people. There's no repercussion for doing these drugs. Matter of fact, they're being assisted to go and harm themselves. And I think that is the society that we're living in, where we're making these things more permissible for people. Even in the cases, you know, I know you said you're new to WST and TikTok in general, but even we spoke about many things, and also please do check out our YouTube. Like, we're actually on YouTube. If you go on this page right now, I have it linked up on WST, so you can see our previous conversations. And in our previous conversations, we even talked about in the cases of, I had a girl named, I had the pleasure of meeting, her name was Sabrina, you know, and Gabar Wahehed, you know, she was Caucasian, young girl, and she was really struggling with her mental health. And she told me while she was in the facility getting treatment, they presented to her, why do you want to live like this? You know, this is so painful. You know, Mukudeneyo is not going to leave you. So they have something called like suicide aid, you know? Basically, in the cases of mental health, like easy baba loga digay in it or laga takluso. And that's what's kind of having my mind boggled, because this is not the way society should be functioning, and this is not the way society was. Why do we have these certain movements that are moving towards that in or further damage logayo gel mastinin and that color to salin you didn't bring other drug addicts and say let them give a speech or let them do a conference or let them hand out posters or let them be mentors to these children. Madihin intas. You know, you did not call up their parents and say to them, you know what, I think we have an issue here and we would like to bring you in on it. No, you just said, hey, this is you just here, you know, just go take yourself out. This is how I play it out, you know? And this is how people should be really looking at it. And this relates to problems. You have high incarceration. What leads to gang violence? What are the gangs doing? They're fighting over territories and they're fighting over drugs. Okay? So nobody can tell me drugs is not a gateway to violence and to exotic type of life and to other ways. Drugs are a gateway to a lot of things, and I believe we should not be implementing this to our children as young as 15 years of age and younger. I think what needs to happen is we need to be able to help the other people that are on this. We need to create these facilities and assistance to wean them off of these things when they are 18, 21, when they are of age. This shouldn't be promoted to younger generations is all I'm saying.
صح, I agree. MashaAllah. No, Ani, I will agree. The only thing, Anaka, we are in Canada, right? All Canadian issue is not our problem, right? Every individual community ba ilmaha soo saara, community-ga awareness waxeeya and community-ga unity waxeeya. Because when you have unity and people disagreeing each other or agreeing each other, mel lama gaarayo, right? So you have to have this bond that cannot be dead, that cannot go away. Whereas other communities like Adan community and Russian community, Asian, Indian, sees you as strong, social, that is adik, right? So over the years, wallahi, the Toronto community, dadki Toronto, Minneapolis u qaxeen, dadka Americana way imanayaan. So what happens in Minneapolis stays in Minneapolis. I believe that. So whether it's America or here, there are people ilmaha dhimanaya more when it comes to Somalida community. Wallahi ubillahi, there's almost, I will say, about 40 to 52% of them dying. Narcotic use or ilmaha banaka lo iriye, get out like iri. He had an argument with his mom or his parents. Okay, wala bixiyay. He doesn't know where to start life. So banaka bu galaya, waxaas bu baranaya. So he becomes level 2 stage of addiction bu galaya markaas. So waxaas has to be tackled.
No, I think America is way better when it comes to their harsh laws, and Canada will have a place. It just functions like Europe.
Yeah, no, Canada, it's more like, I wouldn't say third world, but they have capitalism and law. Every 52 state or done in their own laws, and qofka xagga ka soo baxa doesn't mean community wax u waxeeye. They're all pocketing lacagtooda. Why are they dying? Why are they dying ilmaha? There's seriously, but Toronto, Anaka, our main problem is in Toronto waxa ka dhaca. In Toronto, over the years, community are strong ma haystaan. Iskuma tagtagaan. Whether Islamahan, there's so many Islamaha or jiifka ku ooya, ilmahooga la dilay, warkaa laga soo saaray, or all of that is happening. I'm not into politics. I hate politics, as a matter of fact. I used to work with them, but I do not like it. Wallahi. There's a lot of things happening in there. I do not like it. But anyhow, and that even lagu fariisiyo boardka, waa lagu daarinaya itixaan, you're going to be talking conferences, meeting. You have to agree, agree to disagree, whatever. But like in all lacagtaas oo dhan, they will give you money, of course.
You can't. Anigu waxaa dhihi lahay, at the end of the day, at least wax meesha lagu shiraayo ma aragte. The front seat baaba u haysataa. Thank you.
It's another world.
Then you know what? You don't even have to respond. You can come back to your community. You guys, guess what? I'm making some tea at my house tonight. I think 3-4 of us need to come together. In the meeting, this is the agenda. This is the agenda as a community here, because clearly you have neighbors. And you're gonna be like, what do you
How
think?
many of those community haga for the on board and yet they don't do anything at all?
I think the
Just
people in the board,
seriously,
you should be
The
writing a letter saying, hey, my
issue is with Somali community.
taas baa
The
dilay.
hooyooyinka, I mean, the hooyooyinka would come together. They would just talk about, oh, cunugayga school ka baxay, cunugayga kanuu sameeyay. They won't talk about their problems. That's the issue.
Solution kama
They
hadlayaan.
won't talk about the solution. Like, what could we
They won't even
do?
talk about the problem. They won't talk about. They would
It's
talk
very sad.
about cunugayga school dhameeyay inantayda waxay dhigataa
Oh,
master
you're right.
inad
You're right
Fine,
about that.
bottom haga
They
la
want to
fadhiyaa.
gaslight each other all day. You're right. They do speak a lot. That is true. You need to be concerned. Like, I was so happy when people woke me out of my bed because one day I just said, you know what, you guys, I have this issue, you have this issue, you have this issue. And we all came together and we decided to be friends, right? You need to know the people that you're next to. Why do you not want to say hello to your neighbors? Do you understand this world is pulling for isolation? There's a big drift happening here amongst people. Your own neighbor for 20 years, you don't even know their name. How sad is that?
Yeah, it's very sad. I think Somali the both.
I don't even know if anybody lives
So
in the
what?
next
So
apartment.
what? They have their own judgment and their own day. That's none of your business. You guys need to link up like this in what concerns both of you. Hey, I have this.
What needs
you
to
have
be
this.
done?
This is our concern. dembigaaga iyo waxaaga maxaa iga gala ilaahay baa ku abuurtay ana ilaahay baa abuurtay. Be simple minded. You know what I mean? Go say hello. They're not gonna bite you, you know? Even if they have a dog, say, can you kindly restrain your dog? One of my neighbors, she has a dog.
Simple
Every
things
time
in
I
life
want to
we
talk
can
to her,
have
"Haka bilaba. Hi, ma'am, can you restrain your dog? Okay, wait. Hey, Ashley, so hirta. Hey, we have a common goal, but aniga xalay sariirta baa laga soo kiciyay cirbada baa dhulka lagu daadaadiyay qof baa na xumeeyay qof baa qashin lagu daadaadiyay waa
But you see, Gupta, they don't think your problem is their problem. You see, tomorrow you don't want to garanayaan.
You do have a problem. I think I'm not here. We need to be the gatekeepers of our community. You know, a lot of women, why they're closed in, no. Sister, how about you just speak on what you saw? I was taking a walk down the street and dad baan arkay meeshaan ku shiraayo, you know, wax fiican ma arkin in muuqaalkayga, argument baa arkay. Marka simple minded waxaa iska sheegi lahaa, you know what, we need to keep our community secure. Ilmahaaneti waxaa dhici karta afdhaaf. Marka, you know, apprenticeship program iyo waxaaneti community ga la shaqshaqeeya, they're giving out these incentives in different programs. Here's a pamphlet, maybe Saturday or Sunday ka soo qayb gal. Simple. It's that simple. You just saved yourself a life. You know, that lady, she respects you now because you did not come at her and say, Unigaga or Umalesid, Jamaicanko or Swelka for the Kalala. You just spoke on your neighborhood in general. I give out flyers. Here, come to the events. So welcome to the event, you know? It's that simple. We need to be the gatekeepers of our community, and that's how we do it.
We're missing like a lot of the hoyos because like hooyo bay wax ka maqashay. Aniga if I'm telling my mom maanta adinaan ku leeyahay waxaas hooyo fiican waxaas samee, she would be like okay, but she won't take it serious. Hatta it doesn't matter how much education aad haysato, even if you're a doctor, but the minute ay ka soo maqashay habaryarta jaarka, she's gonna be like now waxa la yiri ma ogtahay saas anaga waxaan nahay dad oo maxaa la dhahaa hadalka afka wax isugu gudbiyo, wax ma akhrino, wax intana badan ma qorno. We listen to each other. So hooyooyinkaas oo kale imika haddii TikTok-gooda ay ka dhigi lahaayeen like the important matters in the community, I think in xal la heli lahaa.
Barack, come back please, Barack. I wanted to give you a chance to speak. Where's Barack? Barack, I will send you another invite. Come back, Walalo. Let's hear what Barack has to say. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, Barack. Can you hear us?
Barack Obama, welcome. I hope you will.
I hope عضو Barack Obama عمل إنها خفتيد ما بلغوا مخلي كره Michael Kusodowat. I guess he's having technical issues, but you guys, we're almost at our goal. So come on, we have like 6 more minutes until the live. And I also want to ask you guys in the comments below, what other topics do you think we should be covering? And more so, I really enjoyed what both Kay and Amina said tonight. Please tap the screen for them. Make sure you follow the sisters. And also, even right now, what Kay said is all Somali mothers, I'm urging you in a screen kina wahku hirnatin. You know, your TikTok, make it useful for you. You know, talk about the issues that are pertaining to you and don't be shy about it. You know, like-minded people will find you. You guys will click because everybody wants to make the world a safer and a better place for their child. That is the commonality. You know what I mean? Let's not they don't know how to open up about it. They don't know how to talk about it. They have lost sons. They have lost daughters to violence, to greed, to this society here in the Western world. They are trying to learn their cultures. They're trying to integrate to their cultures. They are trying to do the best thing that they know how. And if they're falling short, it's not up to us to diminish them. It should be up to us to uplift them. We have to uplift our community. And I don't see a lot of mentorship. Do you understand that? Back in the day, I used to really see great leaders, men leaders in the community, whether it was your basketball coach, whether it was your soccer coach, whether it was like whether it was even one of your teachers, you know, your guidance counselors. One of my guidance counselors in high school literally got me through it, you know? And, you know, when you have such an epidemic of single parenthood, when there's an uprising on single parenthood, and there are leaders missing from our communities, there are people incarcerated, there are people diseased, there are people on drugs, who are we really looking to in an Tageran? So we have to think about that. We have to start marching and bringing people to the forefront of our communities. And honest to God, it is the easiest thing to do in this world. It is not hard. What I'm telling you guys is not even difficult. It starts with a handshake. Hi, how are you? I'm so-and-so. I live right here next door to you. I'm seeing a lot of things going on around here. It's chaos. I'm experiencing these problems. What do you have? What do you find hard? They might say to you, you know what? I'm going through the same things, blah, blah, blah. Now link up on that. Just create a group, whether it's 3 or 5 people, and start doing the legwork. When people see you and see changes that are happening in your neighborhood, they're going to take you more seriously. You're going to find people looking for you because the word of mouth, like Kay said right now, word of mouth is how our people hear things, and that's how they learn. So use your word of mouth. Yo, you know this girl or Heblo, or you know these 4 people, they started a little group thing. They're writing this, they're doing that in the community, and I like what they have done, and I think we should support them. And that's how we keep coming together. We shouldn't look to like, oh, I need 20 people right away, or I need 100 people, or I don't feel valued. Stick with your one person that wants to wake up with you every morning. Straight up. So go ahead, ladies.
So it's a movement, right? Every movement starts in 3 or 4, whether it's female or male. Like Black Lives Matter. How does it start? Simple 3 girls, and then they added 4 girls, and then the 5th girl. MashaAllah, you know. And then I believe Gupta next thing is a show, rather than being live. Show.
Yeah, we would love to have a podcast. I feel like we kind of lost a lot of people, but I'm still giving you guys the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I know some of you guys reached out to me, and you know, I too was even gone for a little bit. And you know, the reason why I was gone for a little bit had to mainly do with taking that break for myself. You know, I always talk about me being a sole support parent and me being an advocate and me really being a prominent leader. I consider myself a very prominent leader in my community. I will walk with you. I will march with you. I will cry with you. I will celebrate with you. I am committed to that, and I will stay committed to that. That is the foundation of WST, and it will always be about wellness, about healing, about coming together. Yes, sometimes I do get worked up. I'm a human being, just like many of you guys. I do have triggers, and that's what brought me to even TikTok. My triggers have to do with things that are not solidarity. If I see that people are trying to divide us, if they're trying to create conquer, if they are trying to mislead us and use their own opinion or their agenda, I don't need it here. I don't have a place that's safe for me to go to. Okay, I'm part of this world right here. It doesn't mean that I don't want to help my people. It means that I want to help my people, but I have to make sure the ones that are here are able to survive and be resourceful and be alive. I need them to be alive right here. I need these people to be alive so they can get the tools and the skills that they need to help those ones at home. Charity starts at home. Charity starts right here, WST. So we need to do the legwork. We are a consistent organization. We are a nonprofit organization. We are built on helping, providing resources to people that are affected by nearby arrest. If you've been traumatized by a nearby arrest, if your doors have been kicked down, if you have situations in the judicial and justice system, if you have issues with mental health related incidences, if you have, issues surrounding, even just your neighborhood, whether it be housing, we are here to stand with you in all of that. And that's where it starts. That's taking accountability. That is saying, hey, we need a stronger community.
Yeah, it's
And that's what we're going to do.
Transparency, accountability, all of that in one. Unity. It's all about putting your voice
Tap
out
the
there.
screen for us, you guys. Tap the out of this
Representing
live.
WST.
I actually enjoyed this live. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I function better even in smaller rooms. I've always said that. I really get my energy from just talking to you guys, Runti. And Amina is great. We want to be able to grow. We want to expand. We want to be. We're gonna dream the world for WST. We wanted to go places in
Then
life.
we never know
Inshallah.
national.
Yeah, we want to take it to. They say words are powerful. Words have meaning.
Very powerful.
And we should dream until our dreams scare us. You know what I mean? And I urge you guys to really find leadership, find like-minded sisters and brothers, talk to them. When we did the episode on unveiling the mask, take that mask off, peel those layers off, and really just wear your heart on your sleeve and be content in that. Learn from people, let people learn from you. You know what I mean? And the things that you have in common, attack those together. Simple as that, So I hope one day we can do podcasts, is what I'm saying.
Yes,
we should definitely do that. But I'm glad that you're applauding.
I love you too, Zara. Yes, we can do it, and we will do it, guys. We will do it, and we're going to continue doing it. What are other topics that we should cover, I really want to go back to police brutality. For me, it's always going to be about police brutality. It's going to be about the use of force. I want to look at the demographics of Somali young men that are incarcerated right now. I want to actually look at the demographics. I want to be able to.
You know what? It's so good that you mentioned that. How about racism? Racism play part of the role too.
Yeah, we had a lot of people tell us racism is non-existent. I had a few guys that came on our previous live, remember, that were like, systemic racism is non-existent. The oppressions of 400 plus years. Idinka is diktan, dulki idinka is diktan. You know what I mean? And Anaka, we are not Anaka newcomers, new immigrants, you cannot talk to us about discrimination and systemic racism in the way that it's for the African American community. You know what I mean? Yeah. For us, it looks a little bit different because we are immigrants to this land. Do you understand?
Racism does not finish. It's a is a cycle that keeps rolling. There's all kind of levels of racism, whether it's workplace, whether it's what you're wearing, modern, hijabi, all of that. There's a lot of racism. I think that it's the topic. I like
And I
that.
was gonna say it's even worse because anaga dagal maanan kusoo jirin. We just fit like kaba meesha yaale unbaan xirana, you know. And that's
Yeah.
why a lot of us are confused markan aragna racism because ma garanayna xataa waji uu yahay, ma garanayna why
Oh my
somebody
God.
would hate you because of the way you look like, because of who you are. Like that does not exist in back home, you know. So marka aragtid waxaasoo kale, it's even harder than the people who had experienced that because they have been educated around it. Imika caruurta African Americanka ama caruuraha oo colorka ah, a person of color who were born in here would be educated around there. They would be educated on how
I
to
love
navigate that.
I love what Sahra said. Racism within non-cultural Somali faces the traditional Somali. I talk about that. You know, sorry, Kay, not to cut you off, but I couldn't let this message comment go by. I talk about that. This is the whole reason WST even came about. We wanted to close the gap. You see, we have this generation and we have this generation of Somalis. These generation of Somalis were here as a young kid or born here. They had their own children here. And then you have the newcomers that are coming in. And then the ones that left the war and came here. They left the war, like the parents. They left the war. Some of their kids were young. Some of them kids were born here, you know, and it's all mushy. And you have these people discriminating against these people all day, 24 hours like this.
Absolutely.
So even that's what we talk about, the discrimination within the cultures, within our traditions, with the racism within the Somali community. Anako kahadlin, ya anako tosinin, or anako dihinde, yes, luqad waan in leenahay, diinta waan in leenahay, dhalinyaro kulligan waa soo marnay, labis waa labis, fashion waa fashion. We need to get up to here. You understand? Anako judgment maniga rabno, diinta
I
loo
don't know,
fasidaysid
and
anaka.
Gupta,
We
I
can
don't
go
know,
seek that. That's an individual thing alayhe.
even Gupta, I don't know if you're aware, during COVID, the immunization, have you noticed racism? Because there are gaps. There was an article or news kalaga soo sheegay, visible minority does not like to be immunized.
Yeah.
You know, immunized.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you heard that story?
I didn't hear the story, but I've heard like other stories. Do you want to touch upon it for us?
Yeah,
What nigga
no,
fancy?
visible minority, waxaa la yidhi, they do not want to take the vaccines because I consider that major racism. Wallahi. When I saw article kaka akhriyay, I saw it, wallahi billahi, I said, because mostly Adanka denied too, but Adanka, they're not talking about it.
They're not. This thing is not
it's a bias.
one group of people. This was something all across the board. I don't even know why they would talk about that in the article. Y'all tap the screen for us.
Let me tell you why. Annaga imika community-yada oo marginalized, newcomers, low income area no kala northwest of China hadan tusaale u soo qaato. The reason everybody was talking about being not were so high up there, like because annaga dhibaatooyinka jirna waxaana, because I've been speaking about this during COVID a lot, and the reason our numbers were high wasn't even our fault, because it's okay, a lot of people
They just chose not to
no,
be
they don't
immunized.
just choose Amin. Let me tell you. Ma kaliya iyaga doorashada, it's not up to them. The thing is, when you live in a more like at male that I don't want to say any color, but neighborhood or well off ka, you have a choice not to go to work. Haday shaqadaadu ay halis ku keenayso. You have the guryaha laba qof hal qof loo degan yahay. Annaga xagganaan joognaa northwest of Toronto, dadka dhan waa immigrant, guryaha waa la isdul saaran yahay, dadka dhan labor waxay ka shaqeeyaan warehouses and factories. They don't have the privilege to take the day off. So what do? You go to work, you get COVID. Gurigaad ku soo noqotaa, 3 generations guriga ku jooga, you give them COVID. So ayaa dhakhtarada joogay, ayaa isbaaray. The reason everybody was coming after us is because our numbers were high. iyaga guriga qof kasta gurigiisu soo xidhay, they had their little savings, they had their food in the fridge, everything. Qof kasta gurigiisa ay ku xidhnaa. Annaga, we were out there at the risk.
Yes,
Exactly, and that's the
I
reason,
agree with
like,
you 110%.
There are. But you remember the benefit they did. You can stay, Balu Iri, if you cannot work, if you have COVID, you have 14 days to contaminate, go outside another person. Yes?
You know,
There were
I
benefits.
had a lot of my friends tell me I'm going to lose my livelihood. You know, I'm going to lose my home. I have no choice. I don't want to do this vaccine. My back is against the wall. You know what I mean? I'm a sole support parent. You know, I can't afford, like, I don't even
Very
think this
sad.
was a choice. You know,
There
I
was
think
actually a nurse, a friend of mine that passed away, COVID. I was so sad. Halima. Wallahi. She passed away. She did not know at the beginning. It was March 2021, 22. Yeah, around there. She passed away. Very sad.
I'm so sorry to hear that. My condolences, wallahi. But I just feel like this whole COVID stuff was just mind-boggling and just
And plus, if you go
so
outside and work, if you have kids, ilmahaga u keenaysa. So
exactly. Even
one
the
way or the other is a
violence.
lose battle. It's a lose battle. You're losing.
I was scared to even go to the grocery store because the lineup and all the fighting. There was so much fighting in Toronto, you know. Honest to God, Toronto is like a small version of New York City. Sometimes these people, wallahi, their attitudes is mashallah. Like, can you imagine? You should be wearing a mask. Why are you not wearing? Get out of the line. Oh, big brawls will start outside, and you're just like with your kids, and you're like, oh my God, you know? And the police is not even responding on time. This city really went through some, like, just like every other city, but we really seen some things on Ilehe, and we really seen how people and governments will behave when our backs are against the rope. And it was just like eye-opening
It felt
experience
like
overall.
it's the
oh
end
my
of
God,
the
you're
world.
so right. You're so right. I honestly, like, that's why I can't even
I'm
trust
nervous.
anyone.
Sahra, Sahra, gabadan Sahra Ladahai, please, you guys, get her to 1,000 as quick as possible. All of our WST family, you know, even though many of us are not out here tonight, I'm begging that she gets to 1,000 because she is amazing, you know. Sahra, I
Follow
hope you
Sarah
get
right
better
now.
because, you know, I feel bad because traumatization is never a good thing. You know what I mean? We stand with you, Aku Qorabai. We stand with you 100%.
And Allah naxariisto dadkii Muslimka dhintay.
Yeah, as a nurse, you know, that does a lot. That does a lot to you. As a nurse, can you imagine having to work those long hours, not being able to like sleep, putting your life at risk, and just the backlash that the nurses even got in terms of like, you know, being fired from their jobs, even if they didn't want to be vaccinated, the layoffs that the doctors and, you know, the staff people had to go through, knowing that you have all of these patients being neglected and dying. People didn't even get showers for days on end. People didn't even get turned over, you know? Nurses couldn't take care of their patients like they were able to do so, you know, being isolated for like such a lengthy amount of time. The PPEs, you know, the proper protective equipments were lacking, right? This, I don't think people really dissected what this pandemic has done to people, wallahi, mentally and emotionally and psychologically and financially. And the fact that people just want to brush it off and act like, 3 years of a lockdown didn't almost take place. You know what I mean? It put people in a very dark place. It changed their family dynamics, many people. So I truly commend you guys.
It was serious. Wallahi, a lot of people die. I mean, I had to walk away from desk working. I'd rather just work from home online, but it's better that way.
It's sad, and I can't wait for you to come up and really talk to us about that experience. You know, this is what we love doing here in WST. We love inviting our people, our like-minded people, our equipped and, you know,
But the
educated
nurses,
people.
they took antigen immunization, right? They take it, Zahra? Antigen. I think they did, yeah.
Welcome. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام أهلا وسهلا.
How are you? Today?
الحمد لله على دين كرة عفمتكين.
Alhamdulillah. Hey.
أيوة. ولا في عين صوما.
waa lagu fiican yahay alxamdulilah lifeka hadda maa kasoo qayb gasho horta hor magacaaga see loo dhahaa adam okay adam waa kusoo dhaweyneynaa intee nagala soo hadleysaa intee ka kooban tahay cawada lifekeena ma dhegaysanaysay WST cawada maa kuugu horeyso warkan taagsiyaa ku leenahay iyo topigeena cawada wuxuu ku saabsan yahay drugyaasha oo ilmaha oo 15 sano oo jiraan iyo ka yar in oo lagu caawinayo oo iskuulayaasha ku caawinayso sida drugska ee si safe ahaan u sameeyaan overdose ugu dhicin
okay صح ما شاء الله واقفتين
هاي maxaan ugu darsanay horta hore
بس لايف هذا اقصد بيرو هايدنا اقصد بيه
هاي خوف أورده كسوك عاوكت هاد إنا صوتك عاوكت نايت شفت أسكو دياري نوسن موجودة
بس أروتا
يا رنتي هذا مياه إيش أكتونا right okay ها عادي واي no problem نلا جوج هذا أقول فرح سنة هاي everybody please follow back على سكو سميو and ماشانيتي أنا WST عندها وحودك متى we stand together and was تاجرنا you know what I mean was درجليننا ولا عليه الصومالي ده community عشان دتكو استاكسن إن أسوون أكسن تكو معنا واحد سكو فهنسينو سيب دتك قرقها كنول يو دتك الشيء وهذا ودنك سوق جلاي كوي back home أو ولي جوجان إنه أنا وحكي لفهنو ما قرأته
تاسعون ساعة
marka channelada kale waa ka kala duwanahay insha Allah khair nagu soo biirna la joog
hadda ugu follow gareeyay
absolutely ani marka meeshan ka baxo kulli dadka waa follow back ku sameeya qof oo dhaheys gubta dad ma follow gareysa ma ba arkaysid you know marka ani gubta la dhahaa barasho wanaagsan dadkan WST la dhahaa my family gabdhahana hadda meesha ku arkaysay and program keenin waa kaasa waa kasii soconaa cawada usually 2 hours a meesha ku jirnaa and haddaa rabtidna inaanan la socotid walaalo meesha la dhahaa YouTube hadda markaa kugu soo darsado aan follow back isku sameyno YouTube linkingeena ku xiran arrimihii kala dhan oo ku soo dhaafay waxaan dhignay YouTube kan dhignay marka shaqadaas kaaga jirtid kasir you know iska dhageyso gudbi ku soo celi meelaha ka heshid subscribe noo samee asxaabtaada warkeena gaarsii marka that's asa ku leeyahay
ayuuna qadan
hay intee joogtaada qurbaha ma degantay horta hore
no hadda Soomaaliya jooga
ma sha Allah wali waan support garay kartaa markana support garay you know meel kasta joogno hal community ana hal family ana hane okay walaalo waa ku salaam habeen wanaagsan
هاي هون مع إن شاء الله
السلام عليكم you guys that is amazing tonight that was amazing our life Kay amino srite de sigashay Kay I think we agreed on a perfect topic so do you think our next topic should be on systemic racism oppression especially within our community like that kind or high kujiro criminal waa aragtay videoyaasha daawanayna on Fifth State iyo documentaryyaasha oo YouTube ka laga helayo right now is on YouTube I suggest the community YouTube inay tagaan siday uga warhayaan ilmaha dhalinyarada waxay la kulmayaan YouTube Fifth State meesha la dhahayo a lot of things ay soo saartaa oo ku saabsan ilmaha Soomaalida oo wadanka qurbaha jooga siiba kuwa Canada joogo arrimaha ka heesto ma garatay marka I want to be able to have like statistics, your numbers, your ratio. I don't know this X amount of boys incarcerated. Why this amount of boys and case yasho the multi resolve grade. This X amount of sisters. I can wahyala kud'e debata la Garcia khof or mante or hata or you know injustice-ka lagu sameeyey oo wax ka qabanayso oo taageerayso xataa questiona ku jiro ma ogtahay dadkeena xataa gacan khalad hadday kow kaasiis xataa boqol wax oo naceeb ah lagu sii tirina marka waxyaalahaas inaan iska joojino. And yeah, so Fifth State on YouTube, watch it. Our next topic, inshallah khair, I will try to be posting it. And we're gonna try to go for today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think keep an eye on us for Thursday and Friday, and I'll also be posting it. Tomorrow, Zahra knows lovely. Tomorrow it will not. We do every other night because we like to take time to do research and look into like statistics and data about what's taking place. Any topic that we talk about, we like to read about it and actually, have notes. Like majority of the time, you will see me with my notebooks. Some things are personal opinion based and experience based, right? And some things are actual written and theorists and writers and all of that, more scientific if anything and more educational, I would say. It would have like data that comes with it, statistics, analytics, all of that stuff around it. Yeah, previously recorded. I know that there was a couple of I went to a meeting last time and I even spoke about it here. They are asking for specifically studies be done on Somali community. Because before waxana lagu group gareynay minority community, marginalized community, racialized community, until isku daro waxa lagu leeyahay these are the numbers. But anaka hadda we are experiencing things at a higher rate, at a different rate than some of these other minority communities. So hadda heer waxa gaarne waa akhliyasne jaamacadaha iyo university inaan dhahno iyo dadka professors, all of these people. How about you just do a study on just primarily just on Somali community? That's it. Numberyaashena aragno, statisticskeena aragno, ilmaheena iyo waxeena iyo ummadeena aragno in a ratio way. You know what they say, numbers don't lie, ala daha. Marka, that's what we're doing now. And I want to see if I'm able to see if I can get those numbers, if these studies have been published. I know Waterloo was working on it. I know UFT was working on it. I know York University has done it for the Ghanaian community. I'm not sure what Ryerson and Guelph are up to, but I can look into it. And I want to see if these things are published and if they're out there. So I'm going to try to have this live for either on a Thursday or a Friday. So yeah, Kay, any last words, love?
Friday we have the event, so I don't think we're gonna do it. We have the Somali
you have the Somali professional events to attend, right? On the 26th, is it?
Yeah, it's the Friday.
Is the Friday. So you guys, Somali Professionals is another place that has been circulating on TikTok and IG and Twitter, and we're here to provide, our support them. And community gana dad badan oo tacliin leh oo wax og bay leeyihiin, dhaqaatiir bay leeyihiin, neurologists bay leeyihiin, lawyers bay leeyihiin. And I think this is a beautiful way of really showcasing our talents and our educators. Do you understand? Because a lot of the time dadkeenu negative bay isku yihiin, negative light bana lagu arkaa. So we have to habadkeenu tumano for all the young, beautiful, incredible, talented, people that we have in our community. In a uplift ku sameyna way into humanteena laga hadli lahay or Fifth State every day documentary soo saari lahayd. How about we start making documentaries and all of the people that came from the hardships of the motherland to come out here to the North Americas where they are being disadvantaged, where they are being prosecuted, where they are being oppressed, right? And they're succeeding, not even knowing the language. They learned your language, they learned your culture, they can outspeak you, they can outrun you. Yes, we should be proud of that, and we should really amplify that. You know what I mean? So for Somali Professionals, I haven't come to meet you guys personally, but I do plan on attending your events, and I do plan on supporting good Somali brothers and sisters when I do see it. So here in WST, we support that. If you guys got tickets to their events, please go out and show them love on Ilehe. Absolutely. Okay, it will be on a Thursday or a Saturday, depending on how we feeling around here. All right.
Okay,
All
great,
right.
great. I just wanted to say my last words. Thank you
Yes.
guys for coming out here. Thank you for supporting us. waxyaabahan ka hadlayna aad bay communitygeena muhiim ugu yihiin, specifically dadka oo maxaa la dhahaa caruurta iyo waalidka iyo dhammaan communityga, different levels of community. dhammaantood they're always invited. xaggan ma aha keliya annaga ma nimaadna dadka wax uma sheegno, waan la sheekaysanaa dadka iyaga experiencegooda inaan wax ka barana, iyaga iyaga cilmiga iyagu ku dhex jira, iyaga waxa ku jira inaan kasoo saarna si communityga inteeda kale ay u maqasho. waxaa kalaan rabay idhaahday hooyooyinka waxa dhacaya waad aragtaan, caruurtiina ka warhaya, caruurtiina u dhawaada. idinka haddaad caruurtiina hoosta gashan weydaan, qof kala hoosta gashanaya, ama cirbadaa hoosta gashanaya, ama dhibaato baa hoosta gashanaysa. waxa kale ugu dambaysan raba inaan dhahdo the kids, wallahi I think habeenkii hore ka hadlaynay addictionka iyo mental healthigana waan sheegnay. You don't have the privilege to mess up. Please and please, hooyada iyo aabaha
You don't have the privilege to mess up.
you
I just
do
have to
not
talk
have
about
the
it.
privilege. fact waxa weeyaan cidna kuma geysanayso. waad aragtay marka iyaga 15 waxaan ka wadaa 25 24 caruurta dhan ee overdose koo dhimanaya 30 bay ka yaryihiin. so you don't have to mess up inaad noloshaada dhan, because if you go lefty, you go lefty. There's no coming back. cidna ma kusoo ceshanayso. hooyada 7 other kids ay haysataa, dhaqaale laguma hayo, waqti laguma hayo. be careful. waalidkana mar walba caruurtiina ka warhaya. if you have to search, if you have to go back to school ka samee, if you have to stock, do what it takes to keep them safe, inshallah.
Wallahi, there's nothing wrong with stalking. My dad was posted up. He used to come 10 minutes before the bell rang. I swear to God, you know. Wallahi, when I think about like walid can inte no so maren, you know, right now these young individuals, these viral videos are seen. Kulligan teenage life was so marne, hormone life was so marne, changes was so marne. And let me tell you, there is gonna become a time dadkaniti waxyaalahan ka shalen doonaan ee ku dhihi lahayn, why didn't you stop me, mom and dad? You understand? Marka, it's better you become the overly the crazy mother, way waalanta halagu dhaho way waalanta. It's better in all lagu dhaho way waalanta, other than having your child be misled by things that could cripple them. waxaan gateway drug ma ahan ya. waa ka hadalna the difference between gateway drug and this is a seriously deadly drug aan ileeyahay. There's going in pill forms. cocaine wax la yareysta ma ahan. ilmihiina la hadla, ilmihiina saaxiibo la noqda, telefoonyaasha hala damiyo. recreational center free. The programs they give out, free programs they deban. waiting list ka isku qora xataa, you know, the orad iska nafis park iska tag. You know what I mean? maanta dhan heblay kan nino ha isku talin. all this is not doing anything for us. anaka we war ba meeshaan jiro. boo madfac baa yeeraya. madfaca kasoo cararteen intuu ka yeeraya in a silent way. waa lagu qoslaya, waa lagu elka cadeynaya. So it's better you wake up and it's better you start taking accountability. Take accountability, Anilehe. Be the leaders of your family. Marka, I love you guys for the sake of Allah. You know I do. I'm here to wish you guys a wonderful evening. Make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you stay safe. Make sure to be the change that you seek in this world. Charity starts at home, Anilehe. One love, one God, one family. WST. Peace out. Good night, beautiful people. Until next time.